Hey family, hey family, this is Steve Copeland. Hey family, hey family, this is Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation Show. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Hi. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation Show. Hey, family. Y'all know what time it is. I wanted to come on for a little bit. Might turn out to be 2, 3 hours. Y'all know how I am, right? Um, if you don't understand why I do what I do, I share my experience, right? My experience, my strengths, and my hopes, right? I have no problem if you've been following me throughout the years talking about life and life in general, about the things that go on and take place. Excuse me. Now, as a community activist, as a community organizer, as a homeless advocate, as a human rights advocate, a lot of times when I talk, I'm speaking towards like people and organizations that tends to enslave and oppress our people, right? Now, if you are living, say, a middle class life, a more conservative life, a well-to-do life, like you worth some money. You don't need state and government funding. You don't need it. But a lot of our tax money, that taxes that we pay, that comes out state and federal government, it goes into back in, it's supposed to go back into the community and building up. So anytime you might make a certain amount of money, because people that work at McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's too still pay taxes. So when you feel like you're upper class and your money go towards the low to moderate income people, understand those that's working pay taxes too, people. Okay? So it's not specifically all about you. It's just a lot of times they don't make enough money to survive off of what they have. You get me? So it's people like myself and others who create programs, who create ways and means to help them, which y'all don't. I can tell the way y'all talk about them, which y'all don't help provide certain services to help them make it through life. But then you so quick to bash them because you're not in that condition, which that calls you, in my eyesight, a sorry, no good son of a sea biscuit anytime you want to put your foot on the necks of the poor. So you can fix it any way you want. But I think it's a shame to be grown, for us to be, human beings, and you want to be in that eyesight where you look down on other people. So people like myself, y'all, I've decided, God, 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 God. God called me back to go into the community to help build up his people, help encourage and help motivate his people. And this is what get me with a lot of Christians, and I'm going to say fellow religious people, stuff like that. If you understand the purpose of Jesus Christ, and be honest, I'm not talking about Matthews, I'm not talking about Mark, I'm not talking about Luke. This is stuff I never hear y'all talk about. You can quote David's story, Isaiah's story, Moses' story. Y'all can quote everything in the freaking scriptures, but your actions doesn't match what you quote. You're so busy condemning people and not even looking at your behaviors are no different than theirs. And I think that's why y'all have a tendency of bashing other people, because your life is not up to par too. So that helps you take the focus off of you. But the reason why I'm saying this, y'all, because I use the spiritual principles contained within the Bible to be the best human being I can be when it comes to representing the body of Christ. You can call him Yahweh, you can call him Humda, you can call him whatever you want, okay? Because we all know he's known by many names. We all know that. So you can go, well, back in the day, they didn't have no J's for Jesus, and it was we way, why way, all that bull junk. It doesn't matter to me. I didn't read up on some of that stuff, but it didn't matter to me. And this is what I wanted to mainly talk about for a lot of y'all. This is what I was praying about and I was talking to God about, right? You understand the word of God, right? Huh? Because I believe whatever you study and whatever you read, it talks about the Creator. It starts out with the Creator. Wherever you're reading the Bible, wherever you're reading the Quran, wherever you're reading whatever material, whatever spiritual materials or religious material, if I'm not mistaken, it starts out with the Creator, point blank. Point blank. And I could be wrong because I don't read other stuff like that. I stick to what I know, right? But if you're a Muslim, you're an Israelite, you are a Morse American, or study more science, if you're a African, if you're a Chinese, if you're a Hindu, because y'all got in your mind that it's only white and black people here. But whatever your religion is or your culture or your ethnic, y'all believe in what you believe. Jewish people too. I know this Jewish guy, dig it. Every time I talk about or I mention Moses' name or somebody like that, he'll flip the name to something else that he's taught. But we talking about the same person. We're talking about the same goddamn man. This Jewish guy was going through that, right? We talking about the same person. I mentioned David. He mentioned another name for David. I'm like, man, we talking about the same people. Yeah, but that's not his. I'm like, oh, okay then. Okay. I ain't getting into that with you. We reading the same stories, same word, just the name might be changed according to your culture or to what your upbringing. I mean, your religious belief, right? I'm not going to argue with you about that bull crap. What's up, Tashawn? I'm not going to argue with you about that bull crap. I was born, Tashawn. I was born in Baltimore, Maryland, in the United States of America. I did not come from Africa to be called African American. That's just the title they put on us. You can call your name yourself any freaking thing you want, but if you was born in the United States and you never in your life been to Africa, if you have an African that come from Africa to America, but they was born and raised in Africa, what you gonna tell them? You're American? You born right in America? No, he's an African that happens to be a citizen in America now. Stop confusing people. If I go way back to when we was apes, to when we was eating bananas and climbing trees, and then we started standing up, you know, and stuff like that. I don't search that deep. Y'all real good with searching that deep. I stay right here in not 63 years. But y'all have some of the most amazing, and I might get jealous too, photographic memory about stuff. I don't remember a lot of this stuff. Even though I might read some of it like y'all do, I don't hold that stuff in. Y'all be so good. I'm like, damn, you remember this? You remember that? I'm not good with that. I am not. And I will admit that I am not. I will study and learn enough to go, that's all. But I am so amazed at people in your research and your studying. But for me, and keep in mind, y'all, I try my best to keep life plain and simple. More like either you do or you don't. You don't have to rattle the fence. These are things that I was taught when I got clean. Either you do or you don't. You can be on the fence of life. The thing is, you have to make the decision. You have to step off of that. Either you're going to do things the right way or you're going to do things the wrong way. Now, let me share this because DC, to me, and what's happening in DC, and I want to say this to a lot of y'all. I don't understand how y'all don't get it. Look at the classes of people we have in this world, right? You have your middle class, then you have your upper class, then you have your poor, your low to moderate income people. And I am going to cuss at some of y'all. I am, right? Because if you're living a middle class lifestyle or more conservative lifestyle, because you don't need the state and the government the way our poor people do, the way our homeless people do. Stop fucking judging our people, okay? Because right now I don't really give a hell. You can say whatever you want. Stop. Because those are the people. Because I'm telling you what I see with my own two freaking eyes. I'm telling you what I see. And just because a lot of us live in more conservative areas, we never experienced the homelessness. We're not in poor communities where we living around raggedy houses and all this type of stuff, abandonment issues, the rats, the roaches, and all of that. You never experienced that. But you want to judge the ones that do. What you are doing, you hypocritical suckers, what you are doing, you are putting your foot on their necks. You're no different than Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and the rest of them suckers. And that's what they're doing to the people over in DC. And a lot of y'all agree with that bull crap. And I'm tired of coming behind people trying to clear this bull junk up. It's too much. And if you don't like it, you can comment back to me. I get sick and tired of this. I get tired of it. I don't have to help nobody. I don't have to do nothing. But it's in my spirit to help people that's less fortunate. Trump targeted the blacks. He made it real clear. The black community and the homeless population. He made it clear. The blacks. What do that mean? The black to you. I could see him saying criminals, blah, 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 because that can lead to other cultures and all that type of stuff, other ethnic groups. He mentioned the blacks, poor people in DC. And you mother suckers is sucking all on this man balls so freaking hard. I'm like, oh my God. And you're licking his booties to tear our people apart. The people that need our help the most. And I'm sick and tired of y'all bullcrap along with theirs. So I prayed before I came on here. Don't you ever come at me with, oh, he not God-fearing, like he's not. You better take that hypocritical bull, slavery man, bull junk, keep it to your goddamn self. Don't bring it over here. Why in the world would you send a bunch of gunslinging, mother-sicking people into a community with a bunch of criminals any goddamn way, and they don't have no solutions towards helping them to do better? I'm waiting to see what type of programs the National Guard went into DC with. I want to know what type of programs, what type of solutions, what type of interventions. Or they just going in there ready to sling guns just like our own, just like the criminals they call themselves talking to. Come on. Y'all blind ass mother freaking people. Go call your girlfriends, call your grandmothers, call your uncles, call your aunts. Tell them that big mouth, bald head black dude on here talking about y'all. Holy Ghost filled, fire baptized, flipping out of buildings and all that type of stuff. I'm sick and tired of this mess. I am so sick and tired. We got people that need us so bad. We got people that need us. And then the more I look at Jesus Christ, I'm not talking about Matthews right now. I'm not talking about Mark, Luke, John, all of them. I'm not talking about them right now. I'm not talking about Moses, David, Isaiah, all of them. I'm looking at Jesus Christ and how he came on this earth. Who's the people he came for? Those that Trump have y'all turning against. The people that need the help the most. Y'all hypocritical son of a sea biscuits. And if you call yourself a religious person, if you call yourself a spiritual person, you are not. Because if you know the journey of Christ and the apostles, if you know the people that they came to, y'all missing the boat. And I was looking at all of this and making my pancake and sausage sandwich. And I prayed. Because I look at a lot of y'all that talks a bunch of good goddamn going googity stuff, but your actions do not match your freaking talk. When I look at Christ, and I don't care if Jesus Christ was a white man, black man, purple man, blue man, because when I look at it, and I look at imitating Christ's humility, I never hear y'all talk about Philippians chapter 2, verses 1 through 11. But it talks about having a relationship with Christ. That's how I know a lot of y'all don't know him. Because he was a loving, caring, kind, considerate man. Whether he was black or white, it doesn't matter, because I'm talking about your personality. I'm talking about your character. I'm talking about you as a human being. He was a loving, caring, kind, considerate, thoughtful person. When he came to this earth, he approached the disciples. He seen the type of people they were. He said, come, follow me. They didn't really know who he was, but they went with him. He walked through the community. He embraced that whoremonger. He embraced that prostitute. He embraced that homeless person. The same way Steve Copeland walks in the community. I'm a community activist. I'm a community organizer. I'm a homeless advocate. Those are the things that he came to embrace the people in the community, and you so-called blind people miss it. Donald Trump is not your leader like that. When I started looking at this, if tell me where his love is. Tell me how he of implementing love, compassionate, gentleness, kindness. Because if he's not displaying this type of behavior towards the people, he's not a man of God. And you suckers miss it. He's not. He's not emulating Christ's humility. He is not representing the body of Christ. So don't you ever try to put him in that category. He's not a loving, caring man. He's not emulating. That's not part of his personality. That's not part of his character. And even if it is, he's not practicing it. So don't get it mixed up. And a lot of y'all is there with, if you're not being loving, kind, considerate, and I'm talking about the attitude and the personality of Jesus Christ. If you're a rotten, no good son of a sea biscuit, and you notice this is not how Christ was, but you want to call yourself a follower or lover or believer, you ain't emulating like Christ's life. And for this man to have targeted, and for a lot of y'all that believe in that bull crap, the same way in Baltimore City. Now, let me share with you about Steve Copeland. I got 32 years clean from that destructive lifestyle. I can go back into any community and help our young men, young women come out of it and stay out of it a day at a time. Can you? We come up with programs. This is what strengthening the community is about. Turkeys. This is what strengthening the community is all about. A new Be More city. You know what's going on in your city. You know what's happening in your city. So you start the process of rebuilding. But you got to get the people attention. So that's what Steve Copeland do when he come back into the community. Do y'all understand that? Get your butts up and go back on Pennsylvania North Avenue and help encourage and motivate them. No, you scared. No, I ain't going over there. They drug addicts, they whoremongers, they prostitutes. You scared. I be scared too sometimes. But I know what we can do to help those that want our help the most. You don't send no damn army of people in there that's loaded down with guns and rifles and all that type of stuff, and tanks and all of that. They not riding around in lifts and all of that shit. They over there in tanks, about to start a damn war amongst the poor people. And everybody that's in the poor community aren't criminals. Every homeless individual and family out there aren't criminals. And I hate when y'all judge us like that. And I hate when y'all sit around and point the fingers rather than stepping up and helping. And if you want to say I'm angry, if you want to say he made, no, the fuck I'm not. I'm just getting on y'all asses. I'm getting on your sorry asses. And then, when I finish this message, I'm going to say, God, please forgive me for the language that I use. I prayed before I came on here. Come on. Say what you want. Because one thing I try to tell y'all, I'm a warrior for Christ. And I hate phony, fake people. That's why the topic of my show is keeping life real. A lot of y'all live in this fantasy, fake world. So many of us live a well-rounded, constructive life. Blessed abundantly. But you are afraid to share that with others because you want to keep it to yourself. I'm sitting here, to Sean, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about Coco. Coco is from Washington, D.C. Coco has a lot of properties in Baltimore City. I'm quite sure she might have something in D.C. too. But I didn't ask her that. But I'm thinking, I'm looking at the investment that she's doing in Baltimore City. And I'm looking at what's happening to her city, D.C. I happened to look at her number the other day, and I seen the zip code too. I mean, her number 240, right? Because I had locked it in, but I didn't pay attention to the number. 240. She's from D.C., but she's coming over in Baltimore City with her housing program to work with people. But actually, her stuff is not real cheap. And the reason why, I'm talking about like renting rooms. And the reason why, because she had quality stuff that is worth the price that she's pricing. I talked to my friend Kevin. Kevin, his prices is like $850. The lower he go for individuals is $650. But now, mind you, it all depends on the area that your housing project is in, to help people. So I understand, even though it's like a little too much for certain people, but I understand when people investing in certain things, they have to price stuff a certain way in order to get back what they put out. So I understand, and I understand when you have houses in Fells Point and Canton and at the end of harbor, around near the end of in the harbor, stuff like that. You have to go up on your prices because these are more conservative areas. You're dealing with a whole demographic of people, lifestyle wise. So you don't want people with that ghetto mentality to come into these type of areas without helping them change that ghetto mentality. That is not what the National Guard is doing over in DC. So now you have to have programs, you have to have stuff put together in order to help people turn their lives around and become more productive and reliable in life. And then you have to teach them not to make the same mistakes again, or you teach them where you hope and pray that they won't fall back into that same category again where their life had become unmanageable and irresponsible. So you work with them. Now, talking with Kevin, and I'm preaching to y'all. Talking with Kevin, Kevin was saying, Steve, I don't have licensed people to help them, and this is what they're asking for. I said, Kevin, it ain't no problem, because Steve deal with people with licensed professionals. He said, for real? I said, yes, that's what my program is all about. When you come into my program, I look at the solutions. Don't get mad at me because we provide the services to help people turn their lives around. And I know how important it is to rely on the professionals with degrees that's licensed, that's certified. So if I want a PRP, I will hire you to help my clients. If I need a therapist, I will hire you to help my clients. If I need a psychiatrist, listen to what I'm saying. Because number one, if you certify to the point that you can bill Medicaid for the clients, I got your back. Did you hear what I just said? I send clients their way. Kevin was like, wow. I said, yes, that's what I do. So for a lot of y'all that like knocking me and talking about me, he crazy, he this, he that. I need a therapist too. No, seriously though, if I need to talk to some damn body, I'm gonna talk to him. I ain't got no problem with that. If I feel like I need meds, I'm gonna talk. But with me, it's about keeping life real, y'all. And I know, I know for a fact, I've been doing this for a long time, about 6 years. And the whole thing with me, because I come from the streets of Baltimore City, I come from where the rats was laying with you and all that type of stuff. I remember my brothers and them used to tease me talking about the rat spit off my fingers. Said the rat spit my fingers off, right? So I remember when I would have my hand hanging off the bed and I remember a nibble, but no, I was born like this. I was born like this. But I remember I used to be teased because I only have 6 fingers, right? As a child. You know, stuff like that tears your self-esteem apart. That's why when it comes to me, when it comes to dealing with family, I want them to be able to face those personal issues, whether they've been raped, whether they've been molested, whether they've been abandoned. This is what the couch conversation is about. The Be More Real Team Talk Show. That's the show that I want to produce. So I'm giving our children a voice, giving our youth a voice to talk about in a clean way those rape issues, those molestation issues, those issues that they're dealing with at home right now. That's why I started the Teen Talk Show. So when you find 11-year-old or 12-year-old young girl with a goddamn baby, somebody in the house touching her. So when I did my proposal on that, God woke me up at 2:30 in the morning to do that. And it dawned on me. A lot of them are living in the house with their predators. A lot of them is living in the house with the people that's taking advantage of them. And when I was doing that proposal, I said somebody going to jail. Because so many young girls are being raped, being molested, but they have talent as far as they know how to sing, they know how to dance, they know how to, you know. And the reason why I'm saying this, because the goal is to open up 4 multi-purpose centers with music, art, theater, dance, and stuff like that. So guess what? Let me show y'all this. Mr. T worked with the young guys and the young girls. It's a lot of other ones that work with the young guys and the young girls. So the whole goal is, or the young females or the young queens, right? The whole goal is to get the the talk show production started, to go around them and talk with them, to be able to bring some of them in, somebody to host the show where we can talk about some of those issues. Y'all talking about getting to the grassroots core of things. If you're afraid to get to the core of what's going on, stay your ass away from me. And if you don't like me cursing, I don't even like cursing either. Okay? I want to be a better person, which I know I am. But with my language wise, I do. Because I don't want to say stuff, but it doesn't matter what I say out my mouth, whether I curse or not. Y'all just don't like me. Y'all running from me. Y'all escaping. A lot of y'all might see me on the street and say, yeah, man, I was listening to you. I was watching you the other day. And I get that a lot too. That's why I try not to be so harsh on y'all. Because sometimes I just need to feel that love. And mainly when I'm like drained and I feel down and out. And I just need y'all to a lot of times encourage me, motivate me, empower me. Tashawn does it a lot. Me and Tashawn pick with each other a lot. We pick with each other. That's my board of director. That's like my best friend. If we didn't wait a minute, I was gonna say something stupid, but that's my baby. That's my baby. And she go through stuff in life just like I do, but she kept down the fort at 908. I had to step back for personal reasons. When you get somebody to pull a gun out on you and stuff like that. And I sent Miss Deborah that message the other day. I said that day I called you and asked you to bring that $600 back. They didn't know why I stepped away from that building, and the police was the one that told me too because of Miss Deborah's behavior. I called you for a reason, sis. And you came down there, showed your damn ass in front of everybody. Made me feel like I was the worst thing that ever came into that place. And the only thing I could say was, okay, this is what I get when I deal with black people. They switch up on you like a mother sucker. And when it comes to my housing program, I do not play. And I tell all of y'all that. When it comes to the homeless and the less fortunate people, the only thing I'm trying to do is provide a service for them. This is not a shelter. This is a temporary housing program where we have to implement solutions and things like that to help change the quality of their lives. I can't take their cards. I can't take their food stamps because my goal with the PRP or whoever, teach them how to make market. Teach them how to properly clean and sew. You know, if they don't do it, we're going to get somebody else in to do it. Whatever my clients are weak in certain areas and they need help in there, in those areas, it's my job to find people that will teach them how to be more responsible and productive in those areas of their lives. That's what I do. Why? Because Barbara Jean taught me. Barbara Jean taught me how to be responsible, productive. I know how to make market. I know how to cook. I know how to clean. I know how to sew. I know how to do all that. So anybody that comes into my life to help my clients, I want you to be able to provide for that too. I know how to count. I know how to add. I know how to do all that. And I'm sitting up here, starting my day, right? And I'm just looking at what's happening. Not just DC. Because Baltimore City is my home. I see what's happening with us in DC, in Baltimore City. I see what's happening with them over in DC. A lot of lawsuits are going to be filed against Trump too. Trump is violating. Trump is violating. Y'all might think in your head he's doing a great thing. Trump is violating their constitutional rights. He's not providing the necessary help and services for them that they properly need. He labeled them all as criminals, even the homeless population. And I know a lot of y'all over there, yes, oh yes, he's the best thing we got. Oh yes, hallelujah, yeah. You talking about arresting, or you talking about, he mentioned the homeless encampment stuff, right? So you have people that's living in the woods, they living in vacant houses, they living here and there, and you're talking about arresting them. Now, I can flip it and say at least they have 3 hots in the car. But you're not teaching them how to be responsible and productive. Your thing is to put them in prison. So how they benefit? Because you putting them in prison, but you putting them in prison, but you label them as you're labeling them as criminals. What in the hell is wrong with this man thinking? And I'm looking at all these billions of dollars this man had. Don't y'all know a lot of our philanthropists, our billionaires like that, they normally invest money back into communities like that? Y'all ain't realize that? Y'all ain't realize they invest money back into the community because that's how they pay off their taxes. This man got the opportunity, and I'm just looking at, he ain't got to put $1 billion in it dealing with the homeless population or the poorest communities. The blessing he can make upon that community with his own damn money, if it came down to it. Because that's what Bill Gates, that's what Elon Musk and them do it too. Elon Musk and them do it too. Because they have to invest a lot of that back in order, like when they, as far as a tax write-off. Y'all ain't know that? That's why Trump will do stuff and say things to screw the freaking people. And the reason why I'm sharing this with y'all, because with my LLC, my main goal and purpose is reaching out for sponsors, business partners, and investors. The Arnolds, Laurel and John Arnolds, they are the type of billionaires that invest money back into the community. Look what T.I. did. T.I., from what I read, and I sent him a message, he did like a project, for affordable housing and also working with the homeless population. I don't see Trump talking about that. Trump got billions of dollars. Or say like somebody in his business, because he might can't talk about it in this sense because he's in the politics. But then what you do, you encourage your people to come up with programs like mine. Send me some money, Trump. That's why I know a lot of y'all don't know jack shit when it comes to stuff. That's how I can tell a lot of y'all don't know nothing. Now, this is what I got to do. Let me tell you about Steve, right? I got Coco. I got Kevin. And I'm going to share this with a lot of you landlords or private landlords, and I'm not saying it to be smart. If you're willing to work with me to work with our homeless people for permanent housing, right? Your prices are too freaking high for a lot of them. Now, this is what I need some of y'all who prices is not too outrageous. But keep in mind, if Section 8 will actually cover, say like if your property is worth $2,500, you want $2,500. And if Section 8 will cover the majority of that, let's talk. My goal is I want to prepare people mentally, emotionally, and spiritually so they won't tear your stuff up and make sure they pay their stuff on time. Now, the reason why I'm saying this about the Section 8, I thought Mr. Allen, that's the Jewish guy, the owner, He told me that he has so many houses that he's contracted with housing, HUD housing. So he has so many houses that he have to work with people with low income stuff, Section 8, low income, and he can also get you into housing off of Medicaid. It all depends on your medical condition, right? So that pumps me up, man. I was like happy. But when I started sending people to him, he wanted 3 times the monthly rent. And then one person called me. They did double security on them. And I called Mr. Allen. I said, why would you do that with the double security? You know, a lot of people don't have it like that. Well, this is business. I'm going to check on it. I said, this mother sucker. And not only that, the reason why I called myself hooking up with Mr. Allen, because of his contracts with HUD housing and stuff, right? The reason why I hooked up with him, because I actually thought that he was going to do the Section 8 with them and do the low income with them. But the goal for that was he was trying to get the money out of them first before they apply for this, because he's not really getting his payment from HUD housing the way he thought he was. And that hit me later. Because you know they start holding back on some of the funding. So as long as everything up and running right, and the people that like work with you with the Section 8s and the low income housing, that other part is like you might pay $150, using that as an example. That's all you have to pay for the actual rent. But then that Section 8 or the low income, they cover that other portion through the government. And sometimes they're not getting paid their money, or they're holding the money up longer than normal or usual. So see, rather than them telling you that, and this stuff I gotta see for myself. So to be honest with y'all, I gotta reach out to HUD housing for my personal program so that I can get vouchers from them myself for my clients. They would be for my housing clients. So now what I was trying to avoid with them, because I thought this man was able to take care of that portion. I understand it's business, Mr. Allen. I understand you are a Jew, Mr. Allen. And I really thought you had my back with the permanent side of this, Mr. Allen. I am sick and tired of people who come in my life and they make me feel like they understand everything that Steve Copeland do in helping the people. But I understand it's the money freaking first for y'all, which I cannot blame you, and I try not to, people. Because basically, if you can't profit off of them, you can't help them. I understand that. Believe me, because your action shows every time. And I'm not trying to be smart. I just have to realize some people, if they can't profit off the poor and less fortunate first, then they ain't helping them. That's what y'all show me. And I wish you tell me that ain't true. That might not be true to somebody that, put the people first, and then you're gonna get paid either way. But so you know. But look, I'm where you at. So I'm starting to so I'm just saying for the people that wants to help them first, and they understand the money gonna come, then you understand where I'm at with that. But the ones that's being greedy, I apologize. I said being greedy. The ones that put the money first and then help. That's it's all business, and that's why I try to respect no matter what. Okay, do not get it wrong. I try to respect it no matter what because it's business, and it's just how we do business. It's just when it come to our people, and it takes money. Y'all know it takes money to house them, no matter what. Even the ones that got money, it takes money. And what I mean, what's the date? The 16th, 15th? Yeah, 15. Now, what I mean is, right, when I say that, you have people that, because it's independent living, right? They come in. Now, look at SSI. They get what, about 900 and something? Then you got SSDI. So I don't know where their money might be. It could be 900, could be 15, could be 2,000. I don't know. But it's limited, right? Now, we got TCA. It all depends on how many kids they got, stuff like that. So we got to take all of this into consideration because no matter what they get, some people might only get enough. Say like if they don't get over 1,200, if they get 1,200 a month, that's still not enough to pay rent and take care of your family. So you have to find something low income wise. I mean house wise, rental wise, because you're going to max out what you have to pay for that spot, then gas and electric, then people got the cell phones, they got all this other stuff, internet service. So 9 times out of 10, you're gonna go way past that 12 or 1,400 you get. You're gonna go way past it. Way. So that's why some people have to get into like Section 8, low income housing. And mainly, it all depends on how many children you got. Now, you'll get more food stamps, but food stamps is not finances. It's not money. See, a lot of y'all don't think like that. But now, because of the arena I'm in, with dealing with our homeless and less fortunate people, or people living in poverty, right, where they only make a certain amount of money, and to find a decent home, it can be expensive. I'm talking about rent wise. I see all this. So when you come into my life, I got to figure out what's the best way to guide you. And through everything we go through, or they go through, if they don't have the correct career-minded job, I ain't talking about a McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, stuff like that. That's just to help you get by. And you scratching along the way anyway. So most of them that works a McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's job, they might work one. They definitely gonna have to get another job to maintain their household. So my goal is to step in, fix it where you can get one type of job to maintain all your expenses rather than working two. Because I used to work 2 jobs, 2 8-hour jobs. That's when I was making $5 an hour. I got to the point I said, that's all I got to do is find me one job making like $10 an hour and I can do 8 hours a day. I was working 16 hours making $5 on one job, and I think it was $5.50 or $5.25 on another job. Then I started making like $10 an hour, and it hit me, right, that I signed up for trucking. I got back into trucking. So I went from making, $80 a day to making $120 a day with the trucking. Then it went from 120, 140, 160, 200. I'm talking about a day. $250, $300. It all depends on your load. It all depends on where you was going. Then I started getting paid by hourly, making almost $40 an hour, time and a half after 8. I mean, 10, 8, 10, one of them. That was a while back. So I made good money. Now I'm talking about a person with a 9th grade education. So you want to tell me that other people if you never finish school and went to college, they can't be successful? You're a damn lie. Y'all will tell them they can't just to keep them down. I'm living proof. Retired at 58 from trucking. And some of y'all around my age and a lot older than me still working. And that's okay if you got to work. Don't get it wrong. So when y'all tell people that you can't do this and you can't do that, I'm going to come around you and say, oh, yes, you can. It's just y'all not willing to help them take the necessary steps to improve their lives. But you're real good at bashing them and talking about them. Then you want to point fingers at me when I get loud, yell, and scream. I hate that, he that. But you never look at the work Copeland do to help them, either way I might come. That's part of my passion. And y'all miss it. It flies right over your head. Flies right over your head. Got the white box truck. Box truck down. I got to get a brand new window. Prayerfully, I won't have to buy 2 batteries. I got to put the starter in. I got to get tags for it. It's been down for 2 years. Y'all know I just got off of the slave man mentality box, right? So I'm trying to put everything back together one day at a time. I want it like this. I want it now. But it's a process with everything. Then I got my green truck. It's paid for. I want to use that as a transportation truck, dealing with my clients. So I got to make sure everything running properly. I'm not making a lot of extra money. I'm not making, if I was making buku change, I would not ask y'all for a daggone dime. Believe me. Believe me. Believe me. Believe me. And I ain't the only one. I see Chef putting up stuff. I watch Cherie put up stuff. I watch a lot of people. And be honest with it, we can get donations. We can get a little bit of stuff from anywhere. But when it comes to asking for finances towards helping your own people, for some reason, y'all be like, nope. But let Donald Trump put something up and say, oh, I need $10-20 million. I'm trying to think of something ridiculous for a McDonald's hamburger, and y'all will send it to him. Knowing that hamburger only costs about $3 or something. Y'all been in symptoms straight out of $100,000 cash in your retirement money and all that. Cause that's Trump. I gotta make sure Trump stay. And I'm like, all them billions he got, yo. I don't get a lot of us. I just don't. And I'm gonna tell y'all point blank. When my pastor starts saying things like this, win favor in the sight of God rather than man, I had to change the way I looked at life, because a lot of us want to please man first and then God. I had to switch that around. A lot of times, and I'm gonna tell y'all this, because y'all spot me acting a certain way, I love Jesus Christ and I don't play. Don't misunderstand. I can sit here and I can tell you the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, because of my connection, because of my and I had to work as far as giving of myself to understand that process. I know a lot of people is not connected. I talk about the Holy Spirit basically every time I talk with y'all. I don't hear y'all talk like that. That's how I know a lot of y'all not connected. It'll seem like it appear. But when you have a tendency of talking about, I would say Abraham, when you have a tendency of talking about scripture all the time, and you feel like you want to go in and quote words to answer conversations and talks and all that, I can tell you're not really connected. Biblically, you know some stuff. But that's not important to me. I want to know, through your religion, have you learned to gain a spiritual connection, because that's personal with God, with the Son, with the Creator. That's personal. I will eat your butt up when you come at me with scripture in a certain way. Because I have experienced some of the stuff that we read and we study about. I'm like, oh my God. I was beginning to see stuff for myself in my own life. Some of the sufferings that they went through. And people will listen to me and they will point me back to, well, you know, Isaiah went through such and such and such and such. Or Habakkuk, or, you know, just one of the names of somebody else. They will point out the challenges that they faced. And I'd be like, thank you. But what y'all have a tendency of doing with some people, you will take scripture and bash them with it. You going to hell. I don't know where you might go when you leave from here. But I can tell you right now, and I was telling the girl that was doing my booth the other day, I said, because of what I do and the things that I do for Christ, I said, in my spirit, now mind y'all, in my spirit, I said, if I die today or tomorrow, I feel like in my spirit, I have earned my seat beside Christ. It's something that you feel inside that you kind of know. And to me, I don't care how I might stumble and fall and things like that right now, I still feel like I have earned my seat. And the reason why I say that, now it's not my intentions to do, you know, crazy stuff. Don't get it wrong. It's not my intentions. Because where I'm at now in my life, the whole goal is to, well, a lot of the stuff, I have to go to that one. A lot of the stuff I used to do, I just don't do no more because I have grown, I have matured now. So I'm looking at my age compared to when I was a little younger, you know, you know, going through the life. Still, I'm gonna go through challenges. Don't get it wrong, because I'm going through certain things now. But the way I see it, and I can't speak for y'all, right? It's like I don't have to prove a lot because God already knows. My life has already been prepared. The calling is there. It's just me standing firm and continue going through what I have to go through. Now, when I have them thoughts of running away from it, that's being disobedient to God and His word. But the more I stumble and fall and I learn from it and get up and move on, I can share that back with y'all. And what came to mind when I said that was, we fall down, but we get up. We fall down, but we get up. See, a lot of y'all have a tendency when a person fall down, you is a bum. When a person fall down, you a sorry scum. Because you don't know how to lift them up. You don't know how to motivate. You don't know how to empower. You don't know how to tell them it's okay. Try it again. Just try not to make the same mistakes. Well, the Lord said, if you listen, no, He did not. Because He already knew. And that's what I have to understand. He knew I was going to cheat on my wives. He knew how many females I was going to have on the side. He knew me way before the foundation of this world. I didn't know. He knew. So a lot of times when I do something crazy, stupid, or something like that, I'm just saying, He already knew I was going to do it. So I have to get my life back right with Him, not y'all. Well, I apologize to everybody. I apologize to Donald Trump. I apologize to Donald Trump because I ain't got my 4 teeth in my mouth. I want Donald Trump to love me. The fuck? Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. I know y'all probably say that nigga crazy. He need to stop drinking that coffee. He need to stop drinking that coffee with that creamer in it. Because I think it's the creamer, the sugar-free creamer. And let me make this clear. I learned a long time ago. I might not never know who it is. If I can just help one person turn their lives around, I've done my job. And I might not never, ever, ever know. Do y'all know? Like if I'm in the community and somebody recognize me, they might tell me, oh man, I have listened to you, blah, 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 and I needed to hear this and I need to hear that. I don't know who I might touch. That's why I can't focus. Like I don't have a lot of viewers, stuff like that. I can't focus on that because I know it's people in the background. I can go on, what is it called? My analyst stuff right after I'm finished with y'all. And it can tell me how many views or how many people watch me while I was on here. It'll tell me. And I don't be seeing that many. It's just people that tunes in, but they might not like show up in this sense. If anything I say that's unprofessional to you and you feel like you don't want to be with somebody like me or uh, it's not worth working with me, all that's fine and dandy. That's fine and dandy. I don't have no problem with that because I know God only going to allow the ones in my life that He want there. So if you look at me and you like, no, I ain't, look, I ain't pressed because what I realized throughout the years, He's only going to let the ones, and a lot of y'all will come in that's not supposed to be here, and you know you're not supposed to be here because you and I don't relate to stuff. We don't. It's like we're not, and you know it. You know before you step across that door to deal with me, you already know it's not gonna work. You already know. The point I'm saying, you gotta look at yourself because it's not me. I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna do me. And I'm the one that gotta recognize when I'm wrong. I gotta be the one, and that come from learning from your mistakes and stuff like that, right? But I gotta be the one to recognize when I'm wrong or when I'm out of line. So if you come into my life, that's why I said bring yourself. But if you come into my life and you already got this idea, I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna help him with this and I'm gonna fix that. Blah, 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 blah. If you are not, keep in mind, my stuff is transitional housing. If you are into transitional housing and you see me where I might be making certain mistakes with the transitional housing and how I can better improve the transitional to temporary to permanent housing. That's what you want to come and help me better improve that. Do not come in if you are a master contractor, or do not come in if you have an assisted living program and you're taking all their money, you're taking all their food stamps, you have to give them 3 meals a day, you have to make sure somebody there to protect and watch over them. The similarities are there, but mine is independent. I don't give breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I don't monitor them like that's the goal I got you though. I got it in certain parts of it. It's just making sure we have somebody there to watch out for them. Mainly the ones that might zap out because they need meds. So I learned that from my other two houses, that they do have to have that 24-hour round the clock service. Because normally if I'm in the building from say like 10 to 4, and they might act just as normal as possible, but the moment I leave, it's like all hell break loose. So that's why I need that eye on them, 24-hour clock. Cause they're party like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, then they act normal during the day. I had that happen to me before. And that's when it taught me that some of them are not the type of people that you can leave alone for a long period of time by themselves. So now I notice, I see certain things, but once again, if you have a special gift, I'm talking about job wise, business wise, and we can enhance each other and moving forward together, that's fine. But my goal is I would not come in and I see the type of business you have. I'm not going to come in and tell you how to run your stuff. That's your baby. And what messed my relationship up with Harry Mead and Steve Taylor, y'all came in running off at your mouth. And then on top of that, y'all turned against me, turned towards Deborah. And the sad part about it, I've been knowing y'all way before her, longer than her. Steve Taylor, I've been knowing you for over 17 years. Harry Mead, I knew you before I got arrested. You was there when you supported me when I came home. You started talking with my children. I don't let everybody meet my children. But you met my children, you prayed with my children, and then you turned your damn back on me. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Y'all was having meetings about my business behind my back. I couldn't believe it. And then y'all got Miss Deborah talking bad about me. Steve Taylor, you've been knowing me, bro, for a little over 17 years, and you let this woman badmouth me rather than taking up for me. I would never let nobody do you like that, because I know you're a better man. When I know you, I know you. So knowing that I've been knowing you throughout the years, I would not have allowed nobody to badmouth you. Nobody, without taking up for you. And Harry Mead, bro, you talk all that God-centered bull crap, and you disappointed me. You disappointed me. Them suckers. You disappointed me, Harry. I was trying not to talk about y'all, bro, but you disappointed me. I mean, that broke my heart, man. That broke my heart. I just knew you and I'm glad I did not introduce you, Harry, one-on-one to the guys that I know when it comes to the rehabbing and revitalizing houses. I was trying to work you there so that we all can come together, and I'm glad you showed your light in that area. Because the whole goal was for us to build a team for all of us, business people. And I put it together. And you act like you missed it. You're going to try to take clients and make them business partners, which that's not where they at. They clients. I deal with people that's already in business so we can come together and grow together. So you were trying to recruit the wrong people. I know, look, broke my heart, man. And I called my kids and I told my kids what he did, man. I was embarrassed. That's why I get sick and tired, David. So many people will break your freaking necks to come to me. Y'all already know what Steve Copeland is about. Stop coming over here in my life when you know you live in a corrupt lifestyle, but you trying to figure out what you can get from this. And then when I spot you for who you is, now you mad at me. A lot of y'all do that. And then wonder why at times I'll shut down to be by myself. I spot so many of y'all. And I give y'all the benefits of the doubt. I get tired of that. And I'm going to tell y'all, David, I'm going to tell y'all this. Our homeless population in our inner city, black, poor community, and I'm trying to find the words to say they are money makers. They are money makers. What I mean, for greedy people. They make billions and millions off of millions and billions off of their pain and suffering. I see it all the time. When they poured, look what happened with the overdose. Look what happened with the overdose. They said somebody gave out 100 testers. In that specific area, right there. Right there. Don't y'all know they got cameras up there and everything? So if they want to find out who did what, they can. Right there, Pennsylvania North. 100. Said that it was laced with antifreeze. They didn't overdose, it just took them down. It was just something to make them sick. And then guess what? Here come your Narcan. And then guess what? The mayor got $460 million towards that project. Y'all don't pay attention to nothing. Y'all don't pay attention to nothing. And I hate when they play us like that. Some years ago, we fought for safe consumption sites. For people who drugs might be laced with fentanyl and opioid. Look what happened. Brandon Scott and them fought us against that. The bill got to Congress and Congress rejected. I said, they just want people to die. It was all catered to that area. And look what happened. So now they over at the library. I was telling my director they need to get a safe consumption sites at 1515. So now, rather than being up, now 1515 right there, but we're in the bottom part of the library. They're in the bottom part of the library. I don't even know if 1515 is still open or not. I don't know. But that was the spot I was trying to tell them we should make it safe for people to come and use. And if it's laced with fentanyl, they can bring them back with the Narcan or whatever, however they bring them back. 4 years later, what just happened? So the same things we was working on, they trying to do now. I knew what it was when that shit happened. Excuse me, David. I knew what happened. And it wasn't, look, it was poured in the community. It wasn't to kill them. It was to make them sick. But the way they do it, when this stuff gets in them, you know they start like this. as a form of their breathing begin to change. And a lot of them are going down because now they're in that mood of feeling like they're sleepy. They are. Their breathing change. All this stuff change. Now, in some cases, it all depends. They will go because that's where they're hitting at. So that's why you might catch them like this. Their body relaxed. They're out of their mind. And in some cases, they will go to sleep. And in some cases, they'll go to sleep and they won't wake back up. In some cases. I'm a recovering addict. Whenever we used to hustle, we didn't give you nothing to kill you. We gave it to improve the high. So we added certain things in it to improve the high. But if it was pure, because when you get pure stuff, you want to lace it. When you get pure, basically dope or cane, you can add stuff. Oh God, I'm trying to think of the stuff that we used to use, right? To cut it with. That's how you make your money. So it's not for a hustler to put stuff out there to kill you. You killing off your customers. That's not how they roll. Now listen to what I'm saying. Now, this fentanyl and this opioid, the fentanyl, number one, is a poison. Point blank, it's a poison. It's a poison. So if you understand their goal is to wipe out as many black people as they can. Oh, y'all didn't know that? In the black community. So what you do, you set it up for them to start taking each other out. And the target spot is right there, Pennsylvania North. Now, it's not to say it's not happening around in other areas, but that's one of your number one areas where we're losing a lot of them the most. How you know that, Steve? Because when I was with Communities United, we got $5 million to build up in that area even more. And the east side and the other side got mad because they didn't get that money to help build up, to help slow a lot of that down. I can tell y'all because I was in it firsthand. And this time, right, well, go back. That is, look at Penn North. See, a lot of y'all act like y'all don't pay attention. You got your little hustlers doing this, and you got the police sitting right there looking at them. Back in the days when 5-0 came around, we didn't play that. We would put our stuff up till they go. The same way with DC. Them hustlers over there now, no matter how long the National Guard, Trump, might hang in a certain area, they are still going to sell. They just slip it under the cover. Once they are gone, they get back to doing what they do. That showed me you don't know a damn thing about the process of helping people, Trump. Then you sent the National Guard in there. Then you got these white boys, these thugs, right? And some of them black too. They want to go in there and try and intimidate our young men. After a while, they ain't going to play it. And they're going to start retaliating in a negative way. That's what scares me. Because I don't know who in the hell y'all think we dealing with in this new age and this new way of life with our people. They're not going to sit back and lay down and just let anything happen to them like that. They are not. And I think they're doing a good job by not retaliating on their asses. You don't fight fire with fire, Trump. And a bunch of y'all chumps that believe in it, you don't do it. And if the National Guard's over there not talking with them like they're human beings and treating them, you know, like they somebody, and if they feel intimidated by them, they gonna buck up on them. Because they are in defense mode. The same way, if I was over there and I was talking to the National Guard, I would try to tell them to be more like human with them, which relating to them, hey, how you doing, blah, 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 blah. Don't come in trying to intimidate them. Because what they do, they're going to jump right on the defense. And a lot of you dumb, smart people thinking that's cool, that's not cool. Because God knows if you came at me like that, my defense gonna go up. And I know you might not mean no harm, but my defense will go up. Until I catch myself to realize you don't mean no harm. I don't know what y'all be thinking sometimes. And y'all make people like me, people like Dr. Chisholm, and I can only speak for the ones in Baltimore City. People like We, Ours, Us, people like Baltimore's Movement, Safe Streets, wherever y'all want to judge them or not. Y'all make our jobs harder for us when it comes to dealing with our people. When you send the troops in. And we trying to go in with love, programs, and all of that. Now that's in Baltimore City. So I'm not familiar with the programs they have in DC, but I'm only comparing it to what's happening here and what they're doing over there. And I feel like they probably got the same things, like programs like mine, Uncle T, Damon Cooper, Mayo, what's Suda doing? I said Suda, but it's I'm sorry, buddy. But his name, he deals with, I'm just thinking about the people that deal with a lot of our youth. Boys and girls, it's a lot of programs here in Baltimore City, and I'm quite sure DC has the same Trump. And when you sent them troopers in there, you told people that what y'all doing to try to build back up ain't shit. But your white ass ain't down there. Looking at all of these people putting in time to help our inner city poor communities, and then you're gonna attack them. And then you got all these motherfucking suckers that's agreeing with you. And yeah, if you don't like it, you see me, talk to me. Because my feelings are hurt. And I don't like what y'all doing to us. I don't like it. And I will ask God to forgive me because of my bad mouth. And he will. I ain't gotta act perfect for none of y'all. Right now, I'm disappointed. And I'm hurt. Because I'm thinking about our homeless population. I'm thinking about our black people. Already went through the bull junk with 1619, and then y'all want to repeat it all back. But I guess y'all, I tell you this, y'all ain't asking him to show y'all that stuff about the Epstein files, is ya? Because he slept with them. That was before his presidency. Y'all know he did. Y'all know he did. Y'all know he did. Because guess what? I'm 63. He's 78. He's 15 years older than me. And I remember seeing a lot of them pictures and all that way back in the days. I never paid a lot of attention to it. And then when he talked about his daughter, oh, you don't do that. So when he made those statements about his own daughter, What he showed me, he never changed her pampers. He never bathed her and washed her up. Because you experience, them intimate moments with your child, as far as cleaning them and wiping them and stuff like that. That was some perverted bullshit he said out his mouth about his daughter. So it showed me he never had a personal relationship with her like that. Anytime you think about your daughter in that sense. And I got 4. And the reason why I'm saying this, because I'm getting sick and tired of a lot of y'all acting like nothing. I don't care what this human being do. He all right. He all right. Y'all ain't even looking at the victims. The women that went through the years, throughout their years, dealing with that type of stuff. This slowly but surely, they're starting to come up and talk about it. I would not be surprised if Trump's daughters, some of her girlfriends might come back and say, he touched me. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't. They ain't even got to pull out no Epstein files. They don't. You just see the pictures. You know what time it was. And check this out. For a lot of y'all want to do this, Sinbad might have been on the island. Michael Jackson might have been on the island. P. Diddy might be on the island, even though P. Diddy locked up for his stuff. It's a lot of people that was on the plane that was on the island, but none of them was mentioned to do something like that. But they trying to make it seem like because they was on the island that they had something to do with that. No. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. 1 minute he don't know this man. The next minute they've been friends for 15 years. What you got to hide? Well, when I found out after 15 years that he was well, you're a damn lie. And the only reason why I'm saying this, y'all, did Bill Cosby go to prison for some stuff he's supposed to have done 30, 40 years ago? Black man. R. Kelly, black man, still in prison. P. Diddy, black man. Epstein, white man, came up and dead. Why? Why? Tell him I need some money. Tell Trump, them same people, the homeless and less fortunate people. I'm connected with her, and I'm talking about the girl in D.C. who sent me the message. Christina Flowers, you know, she moves more about than me. So when people call her about certain things, when they want to come and protest and rally and stuff like that, they might go to D.C. Y'all remember Larry Wallace went to California one time or Los Angeles one time from here to cover something up there. One thing about Christina, now, she's a homeless advocate. She's a voice for our people. Her Belvedere, I'm trying to get the name of it. Hers is wrapped around like the assisted living portion of things. But what she does, she connect with people like me who have housing programs that will house them. Now, a lot of people that have housing programs, temporary housing programs that house them, don't have or offer a full wrap around service towards helping to change the quality of their lives or helping them from being in that temporary situation to getting into permanent housing. So a lot of them that rent out rooms, right? That's what they do. They just rent the rooms. How long you stay is on you. But a lot of them don't offer you the temporary services. I mean the wraparound services to help change the quality of your life. That's where strengthening the community coming at, and the Latanya D. Copeland House of Hope with the full wraparound service and changing the quality of the individual and the family lives. When I talk about the family, say like if a woman come into my program, she got a 15-year-old daughter, she got a 10-year-old daughter, she got a 6-year-old son. They have to sign up for the mental health program because a lot of people come because they've been moving from place to place to place, and not only that, they dealing with some personal trauma that they need that professional services to help them cope with life skills. Did I complicate y'all with that? Did I complicate you? When you got a 15-year-old, it could be boy, girl, 10, something like that. I'm talking about somebody who mind's beginning to open. You got them sleeping here for 1 week or 2, 3 days. Then you got them moving over here for 2, 3 days. Then you got them sleeping over here for 2, 3 days. And that tends to bother the children as well because there's no stability there. So when you're looking at the grown-ups now, Trump and the National Guard in DC, when you're looking at the children, not well the adults, but you're not looking at the children to see the suffering that they have or they're going through because of what their parents are going through. Did I blow that across your head, Mr. National Guards? Huh? Trump, can you answer? Did I go across your head with it? Because I'm looking at our homeless people. I'm looking at our people that's living below the poverty rate that needs your assistance the most, Pop. They need your assistance the most, Pop, Pop. And you turning your back on them, Pop, Pop, Pop. Some of them need that counseling. They need that help to be able to better survive mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. That's why they tend to act out in violent ways, Pop, Pop. Are you offering those wraparound services, Pop? And I hope somebody end up telling you Mr. Steve Copeland called you Pop Pop. You're abandoning your children. You're abandoning your family. They put you in position. So what you gonna do? You gonna call the thugs out to come out and punish your children, rather than you helping them and encouraging them and motivating them, empowering them, making sure money being put into the community to help better the community that they're living in. But it's easy for you to turn them down and destroy them. Pop Trump. Come on, let's sit down and talk. We ain't got to talk politics. We can talk keeping it real, bro. We take that politics bull crap somewhere else. Because I already know you don't have the solutions to come and help the people that need your help the most. None of y'all. And the reason why I mentioned like the 15-year-old or the 10-year-old stuff like that, because I watched the pain in a lot of their eyes when they come into my program. That's why I have a tendency of saying, come in and give me a hug. Because I know a lot of them are hurt. I know a lot of them, that trust factor. I know that wall is up. So a lot of times I watch how our children come into my housing program and they don't know if this is going to be a nice place for them to hang out in, or are we going to turn around and get put out again? So I watch them come in and I watch the look on their face and I watch how they there for like maybe a week or two. And I watch how they start smiling. I watch how they start feeling comfortable. I watch it. I watch that wall break down. Because the whole goal in my housing program, I try to make it a home setting. I try to fix it where the children are comfortable. They can run, they can have fun, they can enjoy themselves. I have snacks in there. Chips, cakes, cookies, juice, my Diet Pepsis, water, all that. The parents supposed to have all this stuff for them too. But because they might not be upstairs, they running around outside playing, they can come and get a juice. They can come and get a water. They can come and get a snack and go back out on the little playground we done fixed for them in the yard. This is what I was providing at 908. Trying to make them as comfortable as I can. And that's just my housing clients. And as we begin to grow and produce, you know, certain programs and things like that inside the building, then we was going to implement the community. But I had to get that set first. Thank you, Harry, for screwing it up. Thank you, Miss Deborah, for screwing it up. Thank you, Steve Taylor, for screwing it up. For coming up against me for what I was trying to do to help our people. So y'all remind me of the bull junk this man doing over there. But I started understanding too. Everybody not for you, Steve. It started out good. Don't get it wrong. It started out great. Started out great. And then guess who fought? All in all, everything boiled down. Guess who fought it is? Me. I just screwed up my housing program. My fault. The devil is a law. The devil is a law. God told me I need you more out there than in here. That was the church building. God said, I need you to go back into the community. He said, I need you to start rehabbing and revitalizing houses for inner city people, poor people. I need you to open up, and the goal is to open up 4 multi-purpose centers, and I want to name them after my son. And guess what? From the way I'm looking at things, we definitely can get a field. That's not the problem. We can get a field, and we can put lacrosse there, cricket, because you know mostly the kids play like baseball, football, and basketball. So the goal is to bring other sports in, and I got people that'll do it. It's just getting it done. And because this is what I was trying to do some years and years ago, I was trying to do everything at one time. I was trying to do everything at one time. And God backed me up because I began to realize it was a lot of pressure on me too. And I laugh at some people when I spot them doing what I was trying to do, doing a million things at one time, right? I'll laugh at you because I remember being there. And I'll be like, oh my God, I remember me. So now I'm trying to, it's like take it a step at a time. Like with the housing portion of everything, we got to get that up and running the right way. So my biggest mistake is right here. I did a verbal sublease, so I didn't have nothing in writing. But the thing was, the person didn't want the building no more. They wanted to let the building go. So what I was trying to get us to do, the owner, her daughter, and me, we sit down, sign them out. I'll sign in, move them out, and continue doing what we're doing. That's all it should have been. That's all it should have been. That's all, plain and simple. But it got to the point this person didn't want to make it that easy. They decided to play games for some personal agendas for them. You ain't want to build it, but you ain't. After a while, you got to the point you didn't want me to have it. You losing all this money because they wasn't paying you nothing. I was paying you what they paid me. And then you gonna turn around and tell them I ain't give you no money. Come on, Christina Flowers told you Steve ain't like that. Because you started bad mouthing me to her. Started bad mouthing me to her. You started bad mouthing me to everybody. And what pissed me off, they did not take up for me, and they know me. They knew me better than that. But I don't know if it's because they respect you, they like you, or what. I don't know. But you ruined a couple of my relationships with some people that I had the utmost respect for. I had the utmost respect for. Because you set up there, and I just can't believe, because I'm like this. If I've been dealing with you and I know how you work, it ain't nothing in the world you can say to me to make me turn against the ones that I know. I know what they work like. I wouldn't do it. I don't get it with people. But that's a form of manipulating and playing games when you do that. You can never, and let me make this clear to all of y'all, because of the work I do as a community activist, the work I do as a community organizer, a homeless advocate, and a human rights advocate, you cannot make me look bad. You can never make me look bad. Even Brandon Scott, most of our politicians that I deal with, because they know my heart, my mind, and my soul is for helping the people. They know that. So even if you try to badmouth me, that's fine, because most people do talk bad about me. But in reality, they know where my heart is at when it comes to Baltimore City. And I'm telling you, that's why I keep doing what I'm doing, because it's not really about me. And I had to realize that. But it's God that I am trying with the work that I do. It's God that I am trying to please, not man. At the end of the day, I got to look at it and say, Lord, I hope, throughout the day or whatever, at the end of the day, the goal is to make sure he's all right with me as far as me doing my job. And I might screw up sometimes, which I can't see how, as far as with the housing program and what I'm trying to do. I can't see how I'm freaking up. Only thing I'm trying to do is make sure they got a roof over their head and a place to stay and all that stuff. And, it was the people that came in the way and blocked that. And there was a reason for it. So I'm trying not to look at it in a negative way, because when God shut this door, he got a bigger, better door. It's just I have to be patient as the change come about. Man, here come Coco. She down there moving all of them out the house, out that building. Because she got houses to put them in. And guess what? Whenever somebody else called me, for housing, I can guide them to Coco. Not only that, Coco know other realtors, people with property and stuff. So now the goal is to sit down, since I got somebody that has these things, until I'm able to purchase my own building. And when I do, I will put all new people in that building, because that's where my mind is at. But right now, the way we got it, she's situating the houses. Now, my goal is reaching back to Powell so Powell can continue doing what he do. But now Powell gonna have to go to these houses to make sure that he re-register them, or make sure they get the proper services. I don't want to travel around like that. That's too much. But I will do it. I will do it. So I know I got to get the cars, the vehicles straight and everything, so I can go make sure everything is running productively. Then on top of that, I might have to find a space where we can hold classes for the clients to come to classes, because I'm going to let them know, after talking with Kevin, my goal was reaching out, and still is, to Salvation Army. Salvation Army has a a housing program that will pay some of their expenses, and it's called Pathway. Now that Kevin is connected with Pathway, he will guide, say, like, they might be in a shelter, but they have to sign up for the program. So as they come out of the shelter, right, they come into the temporary housing program. So Pathway will pay like their first month's rent and security. That's what I want to get with other housing program. I said, Kevin, because he sent the lady my way. So now, dealing with the realtor people that we're dealing with, I can see if they're willing to put them in permanent housing. But the thing is, you have to sign up for the wraparound services, because the way they have it set up, they want to help you, and they want to help you financially, but they don't want you to make the same mistakes again. So that's where the wraparound service is coming at. And Pathway with the Salvation Army is one group that I was looking to get with the financial part of it. We got it now. Now, Saint Vincent de Paul, they will pay your space. Well, the 12-month thing, because Kevin was saying the same things, up to about 12 months. Say like if you renting a place, because I try to give y'all examples of stuff, right? And the rent on that property is $1,200 a month. What they do, they give you, like, that first month you pay $100. The second month you pay $200. But now you have to get in the wraparound services program, because they're judging you according to the income that you get. Now, they want you to fix it where you can say, take a career-minded job. See, Kevin didn't know that I go this deep. So to make it plainer and simpler for y'all, I want to try to do this. The goal is to help you to get to that point in your life where you won't have to rely on state and government funding as much. So it's to help you be more independent. And what I was telling Kevin, I'm looking at the financial side, because say like you want to take up nursing, or you want to take up cosmetology, or stuff like that. See, we can get you in these programs, because the goal is to get you into something where you can make some buku money to take care of your family. And I'm basically looking at the women and the children. So that's where my heart and my mind is at. So I'm telling Kevin. Kevin didn't know I do all this. So I'm telling Kevin this. So it's to get you where you make it well over $20 an hour. Either you can be a CNA or you can be a nurse. They have programs that pay for your schooling. So now, catch me now. This is meeting you at where you at with social service, food stamps. Then Kevin said this, right? He said, yeah, because some of them stuck. They don't want to let go because of they're gonna need daycare, they're gonna need this and that. I said, Kevin, that's in my program. But see, he ain't know. That's how we had it set up at the building. But we was preparing it so that we can have all of this right there at that facility. And the women that's in the housing program, even if you live in a part, I mean, say like if you live in another space, because you're in the housing program, you have to, work these programs. You get me? I'm trying to make it simple for y'all. If I'm making it complicated, please forgive me. So all of this is about what Strengthen the Community does. Now, in that process, right? Even if they want to go to trucking, be an entrepreneur, anything of that nature is to get you from where you at to better improve your life. So I tell everybody when you come into my housing program, you have to do the work to change. You got to do the work. We're going to help provide the services. You get me? I don't just talk, baby. When I say we have the wraparound service, that's where the professional services come in at, the licensed people that can better help you and move you in those directions. So a lot of people told me, said when they was in this program or in that program, they told them they was going to do this and do that, but they never did it. See, as you come in and you begin to graduate, I mean, not graduate, but once you come in, and what I did, I was setting everybody up. And when March came in, I said from 10 in the morning to 4 in the evening, y'all can't go nowhere. Y'all are on lockdown. And when I said that, I was only saying because now the classes start or the work start. Now that don't mean you can't go to doctor's appointments and stuff like that. Say like we might have had a tutor come in at a certain time, maybe an hour or so. Or PRP worker might have wanted to come in and do group sessions or, things like that. I just wanted you to make yourself available for whatever classes you need or whatever, opportunities. I'm saying, catch me, y'all, catch me. So, but if you had to go to doctor's appointments, you had to go somewhere, that's fine. But I didn't want you to just get up and run the street and be like, I don't feel like this, I don't feel like that. If you don't, you can go. When you start thinking like that, you better let it go. Because we're here to help you. And if you're not, and I tell you, and I keep telling you, if you're not willing to do the work, after a while, I'm going to ask you go. Because somebody else looking for that space. And it ain't about putting you out. You can't do this, you can't do that. You're in a program. Don't tell me what I can't do. You're in a program to better your life. It's not a permanent place of residency for you like that. So you don't tell nobody just because you might get mail coming in there. This is a temporary housing program where you're not going to stay long. You don't try to make it a permanent thing. Don't do it because you're fooling yourself. And if you don't do the work, and this was what was pushed to me even more, family. When Common Sense told me this, I said normally I tell people give me 3 to 6 months. Common Sense was the one that told me when it comes to the women, she said, Steve, it's going to take them a lot longer because of, like, y'all might not have daycare. You so used to getting that money and not really working too much for stuff. So she was telling me basically, you have to break that habit. I was like, wow, I didn't see it like that. So she said it's going to take longer, not with everybody, but it's going to take longer with the women because you got mothers, with children, because you got to learn to break that habit because they so used to being there. They know they can't rely on nobody else like babysitters and stuff like that for the children. So it's harder for them to let things go. So once she said that, it just took my mind to a whole different level. So now with that, she was telling me about like these charities that I didn't never pay a lot of attention to, like Catholic charities. She was telling me about the why. She was telling me about them because they have housing program or they have like rental assistance programs. And she was just throwing some stuff at me, but that wasn't nobody but God. When everything came to a halt, that was God showing me, okay, you got them here. Now we got to move them there. So now this is what I got to do with my clients that Coco working with. The goal is I got to talk with them and let them know y'all still in my housing program. Because it's not for Coco to keep you forever. She's providing shelter for y'all, well, housing. She's providing that. But the goal is you got to be in the program so we can stay in the program because number one, y'all are not going to stay there for long anyway. So get yourself prepared to do the necessary work to take that next level, to be on your own. Now she's providing the housing, which is great. I was gonna say that's out of my league, but she did with that part. My part is for y'all to continue doing the necessary work to move forward. Long as y'all pay her stuff, that's fine. I ain't got to worry about that. That's a portion I ain't got to worry about. But my goal with y'all now is making sure y'all get the proper help that you need. That's why I told Paul, I said, as soon as we get situated, I need you to come back and start doing what you was doing. Now, I am going to look for another space because I do want my own apartment building or my apartment complex. Okay. I want to have a lot of my own, I'm going to say apprenticeship programs in there. Like somebody might want to take a barbering. If I can get a barber to come in like we was doing and volunteer his services with the training and stuff, what I will do when I go to do my grant, I will try to see how much they will charge. They charge it to train. You know what I mean? And and that way I can get them paid. Was that simple enough? Culinary classes, like whatever I get, if it has a kitchen in it, that we can do culinary classes. You come in, you volunteer your service. Then I'll fix it where you can get paid for training, you know, educate them and certifying them. So we have to start out like this first because you're volunteering your services. And the goal is to get you paid because it's business. So we're flipping to that side. This is how I work. If you're LPN and you want to come in and do your work, because the LPN came to me and she said, Mr. Copeland, I want to do that. You ain't got to pay me because she can bill Medicaid for her services. If you are a nurse, if you're a psychiatrist, psychotherapist, because I'm learning a little bit about y'all too. If you come in and you want to be of service and you can bill Medicaid for your service, come on. My goal is to have a space in the building for when you come. It all depends if you got your own office, you got your own space, you got your own. But if I open up an office for you in my building, you pay for that space. Now you'll have clients in the building. So the only thing they got to do is come downstairs and you deal with them in that sense. So I'm trying to have all of this under the one umbrella. Now, we are going to still need outside services as well that might not be here. See, I might start the process, but you finish it off with your professionalism, if you get what I'm saying. I just started. So we have this here, that there to better serve the people. Hey Trump, come on, let's sit down and talk, bro. Come on, pop. Let's sit down and talk. Right? Because they voted you in as president. Then the old saying is make America great again. Why is all of this chaos and confusion following you? That's not making America great again. It's too much chaos and confusion following you. You got people that look up to you. Now you got, and we all know it, so it's not like you can duck it. It's just that a lot of us probably look the other way and ain't pay a lot of attention to it. We already know your stuff with Epstein. We already know that. And as a result of that, it's not a lot of other people got accused of being connected with him like that. But you. Even though a lot of people visited his islands and drove on his plane and all of that, a lot of them was not connected with that behavior. That is the difference with that. You was pointed out with certain behaviors and with that foul stuff. So you can try to justify it, all of y'all can. Well, Bill Clinton was there. Obama was there. But they wasn't connected with touching anybody and doing anything. And even when some of the young ladies talked, they talked about him. In inappropriate ways. So rather you admit to it or not, you ain't got to. You ain't got to. TikTok is eating your butt up. TikTok is eating you up with a lot of pictures that was from way back when, and I remember them suckers myself, which we never paid attention to all of that behind it. And be honest with you, I thought about it one time about you, right? Like with the passions, with the I'm a god, oh my god, with the models and with the fashion models and how you would go back there, because you got to understand. A lot of us know you are a man in a very powerful position, and I can bet my life you slept with some of the models anyway. I think it would be a natural thing in our eyesight as a man. Come on, I'm gonna keep it real with you and justify that behavior, even though probably most of them was over 18, I guess, or maybe I don't know how young they might have been. Could have been 13, 14, because they models, right? But I'm quite sure they looking like women to you and they babies. I'm quite sure. Come on, let's be real. I'm talking about from a man's perspective, mainly from a man of power and authority. When you feel like you can have any and everything, come on, you can play those games with other people that want to put you on a high pedestal. But men, real men, and when I say real men, I'm talking about men that like to keep life real. Just because you see a beautiful little baby, I'm talking about a young girl, that don't mean you gotta have her. And just because she's built a little bit more mature than, adult like, that don't mean you really gotta have her. Because once you look at them, you might be like, God dang, the similar like this and that, right? But that don't mean you gotta allow your mind to go there. Because they are babies. And you can see the innocence in a lot of them. And I think that's why a lot of men want to step across that line, because of the innocence that they see. And you want to take advantage of it. They babies. They're not mature. I'm saying this from a father's point of view. Watch his daughters grow up. Watch his daughter's girlfriend grow up. Watch them grow up from young girls to teenagers to adults now. You know what? Out of all that yelling and screaming I just did and cursing, let me show y'all where I'm at right now. Out of all that I just did, I'm winding down like this. It's like peace. Peace be still. It's like I'm winding down. Peace be still. Because I come on here and I try my best not to rear up. And like I told y'all, I prayed before I came on here because I know me. And guess what? I don't want to lose me to satisfy y'all with my way of doing things and delivering things. I'm no different than, what's my man name? Well, I'm thinking Martin Lawrence. His name ain't Martin Lawrence. I'm no different than, um, well, Umar is more intellectual with a lot of his stuff. Roland Martin. I've been watching Roland Martin a lot lately, and I watch the way he come with stuff, and I see me right there. I've been watching this man like cursing and doing what he do. I watched Donnie Glover. I watched Donnie in Baltimore City with the I watched Donnie. I watched people come for Donnie, all that good stuff. I watch all of that, right? And it kills me I watch so many people turn against them and turn against me. I'm trying to go to it. I'm just checking my messages a little bit. But Roland Martin probably got some stuff right here. I go to Twitter, right? I keep saying, yeah, Twitter. I go to Twitter and I watch some of Roland Martin stuff. And they've been posting stuff on TikTok too. And I've been watching how raw he is. I watch how raw he is. And like I said, I watch how people come from. Any a lot of y'all that not as outspoken as a lot of us, y'all will see a problem with us. Cause your mind is not. It's like y'all are not in this world that we're in, as far as seeing what's happening. And that's why you might not understand why we come off like we do, or why we, like in my case, why I yell and scream the way I do. Anybody that's in that arena of being a community activist, a community organizer, a human rights advocate that fights for the people, we understand each other very, very deeply. We can relate to each other's fight and battle very, 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 very deeply. Remember what I said, and I talk about Jasmine Crockett. She's a very educated woman, very wise woman, and they call her ghetto is all outdoors, right? No, she not. I see how conservative she is. She's smart. Now, when she in her mode of being a community activist, when she's in that frame of mind, like I might go from time, not I might go, I do go. When y'all see me and I go like that, that's the community activist guy. That's the human rights guy. That's the guy that understands certain things. That's why when I see Jasmine do it, I can understand why. And her behavior will appear to be ghetto. And I tell people that all the time. They be like, no, she this, no, she, number one, she's a very educated woman. She ain't no bum by far. And then to go to her background a little bit, her father was a pastor. So now she's spiritual. Her journey is spiritual. She's fighting against the evil ones. I get her. I feel what she said. I see what Roland Martin doing. I see what a lot of like what a lot of them doing. But y'all gotta understand, we are in a whole different environment of dealing with certain things in life compared to you. And that's why certain things might seem so out of out of the norm. Because when I sit back and I tell you all about our homeless and less fortunate people, or if I sit up here and I can tell you why a drug addict or a person that's caught up doing what they're doing, you will miss it every time. Because if you have not lived that type of lifestyle, that shit way low over your head. So it would take, that's why I do what I do, because not that I was to that degree of nodding out and stuff like that, but I understand their pain and what we need to do to help them overcome the pain of not dealing with life and looking at life. That's why a lot of y'all say, I don't see how they can do this and that. You can't, but I can. And I'll try to explain it to you. But you got to understand, those are people in the world by their own self. Because I did not, when I first started working with the homeless population, I did not realize that was like a whole different world, people-wise, of themselves. It's like you're conservative and how you think and how you live your life. It's like you in a whole different world with your thinking, with your living. And then I realized that's the same with them. Some of them are comfortable with sleeping in the woods. Some of them are comfortable with not paying BGE, rent and all that. You be like, huh? Some of them are comfortable with living in tents with trash all around it. And if they come into your housing program, if you don't follow them to help them, they will live in that room like that too. Like they in a tent. I've seen it. Where I had to get them to keep their rooms clean. You have to get them to take showers, wash their clothes, clean their, make sure they cleaned up right. Yeah, but I see all this. That's why y'all might look at somebody's face all, haven't been cut in a while and years and all that. And you might say to yourself, I don't know how you can do that. They know. Well, a lot of it take work for people to come out of it and stay out of it. That's the mayor of DC. Is that the mayor? And watch people start knocking them because they famous for that. But my thing is, y'all will turn around and knock them, but y'all ain't take your butts over there to try to help them. And when I talk to my friend Tony, Tony called me from the go-go thing, right? And he was telling me how the mayor had done a lot of work over there as far as trying. Ooh, did he hit the police? Ooh, he hit. Ooh, this guy hit one of the oh, he threw something at him. The one of the National Guards. This a white man threw something at one of the National Guards. Please don't throw sandwiches at Trump's. He threw a sandwich at him. He running. This was a white man. He said, man, somebody said, wait a minute. Maryland politics. National Democrats are so worried about Maryland governors Westmore horrific poll numbers. No, they not. Stop playing. That they have to hold an event with the DNC chair to try and save Westmore's governorship. No, they do not. No, they do not. I don't know what the hell y'all doing. Y'all need to stop. One thing I can say, because my goal was to meet Westmore. I met his wife, but my goal was to meet Westmore to see if his heart is really for the people. When I met his wife and I felt it through her, I knew where they was at. Now, I don't understand where they going at with certain things, but he is one of the people too that is actually for the people. And anytime you are actually for the people, wanting to make things better for the people, you always come up, I don't care what it is, you always come up with criticism. People want to knock what you're doing. But I can tell you personally myself, because my whole goal, like I said, was to meet Wes Moore and to show you where I'm at with that. I watched the way Hogan supported Squeaky, the Ruth Kirk Center. Squeaky do not get government funding. It's a lot of people that the governor knew, that knows, that support Squeaky. The same with Marlo. It's a lot of outsiders that support our programs, not the people in Baltimore City. I'm talking about the government. But they will show up to community events like they really do a lot of work. Y'all missed the boat. So now this was my goal to get with Westmore. When they see that you are doing some great work in the city, watch where I go. And that's the same with Brandon Scott and all of them. When they see that you are actually in the inner city and you doing great work in the inner city, even though they might not can't help you themselves, but they will guide you to people that will help you or where the funding is at. I can tell you that much. I can tell you. Because when Brandon Scott gave the homeless people, I'm trying to think of their regular name, right? When he gave them that $92 million, I sent Brandon Scott a message on Twitter. I said, Brandon Scott, why you ain't, work with me, basically. Because this was years ago, so I might can't quote the words right there. But I asked him, why he didn't reach out to me, as far as because he know what I do with the homeless population. He sent me a message and told me to reach out to, I don't know why I'm getting ready to say Muncie. It wasn't Muncie, but it was directed to the homeless service people, right? The homeless people, yeah. To the city, what is it called? But anyway, he told me to reach out to them, to help me towards some funding. That was when they got the $92 million. Now, mind y'all, I'm an LLC. I'm not a nonprofit. So in order to work with me, you have to write me a check. So as long as they deal with me, because I won't go through the government funding thing, you would actually have to write me a check to do the work, because I'm already doing it. It's just writing the company a check. And that's the difference with some. But now the goal is to start doing the 501c3 under my LaTanya D. Copeland, so that I can get like the grant money and stuff like that under the business too. But now, if you don't know, no, with Westmore, like I said, the reason why I wanted to get close to Westmore was to make the business side of what I do aware to other people, like investors, because Westmore knows whoever like Westmore, and Westmore show up, say like to a program I'm having in the meeting. I mean, in the community. That's all Westmore got to do is show up. I take a picture with them. I can get investors to fund my program. That's all. Because people that like Westmore and Westmore coming out to your event, community event, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna donate to whatever they see Westmore doing. So that was one of the things I was trying to get, and I still can, because I know what church he go to and everything. His pastor used to be under my pastor, so I sent Westmore some messages. Right, I said I remember the skinny Dante Hickman. That's when I sent them some messages. This was years ago. I said I remember the skinny Dante Hickman, but but people like that, and I'm just saying, people that's in our community, no matter what politician it is, even though they might not be doing great work to us, but it's other people that love and support their work. But what I started understanding, you got to keep in mind, we are the solutions. Your grassroots are the solution to whatever problem it is. They can't fix it. They can create laws and all that type of stuff, but it's the people that has to actually follow those. It's the people that when they create certain things, we are the ones from the grassroots part of it that come up with the programs, the ideas to kind of match that, if you understand what I'm saying. They don't come in the community to fix nothing. Even when Brandon Scott said that they reduced the homicide rate down to 200 now, for 2024, it's supposed to have been 201. I said 2,000. For 2020, for 2024, the crime rate, pew wise, 201. I said I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And I did do a little research on it just to find the number. It was 201 for 2024. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. But guess what? If that's the way they play with the numbers and that's what they said, because we was trying to get it down under 200 with the spy plane, because it's like it was out of control. It was just a little bit out of control, too much. But now that it's like that, and you got to understand, it's the people that actually not practicing those destructive behaviors. Then you got to look at too, if it's down to that degree, they done locked up a lot of people. A lot of people. And I'm talking about the gun violence. They had to lock up a lot of people. But no matter what, it's still going to go on. So if it did for 2024, only was reported 201. It's all about the people. I mean, what? I'm thinking I'm on TikTok too. It's all about the gun violence, reducing the gun violence. ahead, David. David said he can't stand that. David said he can't stand this sucker. Hey David, when I went to, like, after they had Francis Street, right? They had their first overdose. No, that was the second one. Community meeting on Francis Street. Now, mind y'all, I grew up around Francis Street, Woodbrook, Clifton Avenue, all that, right? That was the first time I stepped up in that church that we was in. And I seen one of the Fauntleroys, and I'm like, man, how you been, man? I've been looking for y'all. I heard you work around because we all, that's Antonio Hayes' family too. So Antonio Hayes grew up around Francis Street, Retreat, all of that. Because I hung out with his mother and father way before he was even born, and his family, uncles, grandfather, I was trying to think his grandfather's name, but that was a slick dressing man. But anyway, I'm sitting there, David. No, I came in. There go Brandon Scott, Antonio Hayes, James Torrance, and then you got Erica. They was over there sitting there. Do you know, David? I was proud as all outdoors to see them together like that. I was proud, David, to see them together like that. Now I'm talking about kids that I watched grow up. Show you how old I am. I'm talking about kids I watched grow up that's in politics now. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, nephews. And then after everything was done and we broke off into groups, right? I had to go over there and mess with them. I said, man, look, y'all, I felt like family. I felt like family. Now, I was in this one section, right? And it was the stadium. It was like the stage right there. So I'm sitting in the chair because they broke us off in groups, right? And I'm sitting there, Davey, just like this. And I happened to look. Brandon Scott was sitting right there beside me. He was sitting on the stage part, but he had came and sat beside me. And I asked him how the family and everything doing, stuff like that, y'all. And the reason why I'm saying this, David, I not in the church. Brandon Scott grew up at Park Heights. I remember Brandon Scott being a little kid at Park Heights, running around at Park Heights. David, I used to hustle at Park Heights. I used to hustle back in the days around Fulton in Pennsylvania, Clifton, Park Heights, West North Avenue. So I remember I lived at Park Heights as well. So I remember Brandon Scott as a kid running around at Park Heights. I'm about a year older than Brandon Scott's mother. But no, we was at the church. Shut up, David. Shut up, David. Nah, you know what? And see, I'm kind of trying to watch certain words, but the kingpin, right? Well, I'm gonna say this: the cartel. You got to look at your highest ranking person. So I got to go to the cartel. Even though Trump is up here, so look at the cartel. The cartel, whoever that's in control of the drug thing, the drug game, that cartel. Nobody's above that cartel. So now you got Trump, and I'm going through the politics part, right? Nah, I'm going through the top part. Everybody think Trump is the one who's running stuff. No, it's people over top of him. So listen to where I'm going, David. You got Brandon Scott. You got somebody over Brandon Scott. You always got somebody over somebody that's actually having them do what they do. The same way, David, when I was asked to come and speak out about the school system, Chantalisa, very, very smart woman, intelligent woman. Somebody was stopping her for giving our teachers the proper curriculums and teaching our children and better educating our children. So to show you how what I'm trying to say, David, when I was asked to speak about that, I said, who's over top of Chantalisa? Because number one, who's ever over top of Chantalisa is not allowing her to do her job properly. Whoever's over top of Brandon Scott is not allowing him to do his job properly. So when I asked that, they said, the board, right? I said, no, they're higher than that. They said, Brandon Scott. I said, no, they're higher than that. Because they're not allowing this woman to give our teachers the proper curriculum to educate our children. And she know what to do because she got children. She's an educator. So I said that, and next thing I know, who turns around and talk about defunding the education, the school? Y'all don't know this. Giovanni Patterson and Ben Crump filed a lawsuit against the school system. It's always, David, somebody over top of somebody that's over top of somebody. So now when I look at the school system, they talks about the school system, the pipeline, the prison, the school pipeline prison for our black young men. It's been set up. Because if you don't properly educate them right, they're going to become criminals. It even talks about from like childhood. If you don't properly educate the black young men right, they will look for other ways and means to survive in life. So now I'm talking with people, and a lot of the people know who exactly. Because some of the mothers and all of that came up against the school system too. When you do your research, you'll find out who's doing what, why, where. It's the school in Baltimore City. I was told the lowest class of students in this classroom is about 27. But it's more in there for one teacher. So you can understand how they're not, once again, being properly educated. Because number one, when you got about 27 children, you can't cater to them all to see which one falling short here or to see which one need the proper help there. So if they in there basically by themselves trying to run a classroom of 27 children, that's one of the reasons why my wife and I took little Steve out of Montebello. Because I think they had about 26 or something like that, right? In there. Now, little Steve's studying, he doing what he do. But when you got a child that's afraid to ask to tell a teacher, look, I don't understand this, I understand that, would you help me? And they are afraid to speak out because they felt like they're gonna be teased and all of that. Well, anyway, eventually we took Steve out of Montebello and we put him in a private school. When we put little Steve in a private school, it was only 10 children in that class. So his ability to learn start changing. So now, let's go back to 27 kids in a room. And then you're going to get some that falls back. And to you, David, you said you becoming soft with these politicians. You can't become soft with them. You can't, David, because the only thing I do, well, actually, we do the work. We do the footwork. They can't do the footwork. And that's something that dawned on me. They can create all the policies they want, but they don't actually have like the working solution towards it. See, you got to develop, once you find out like the laws that they create, in my case, you come up with the solutions. Not in my case, because I thought about Manura too. He works with a lot of the youth. So anytime you address whatever issues they have, they make money off the issues or the problem. They make a lot of money. That's where the money comes from. So when you, somebody like myself, you come in and we create programs to slow a lot of this down, you cutting into their money. You cutting into their money. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that $460 million that they got for that for the overdose to support that, that's going to go to a lot of your recovery programs. That's going to go to a lot of your like recovery behavior programs and stuff. So they're going to pour more money into certain things. But now, if I'm not mistaken, that $460 million, from the way I think I read it, is they have to spend it within this 17-year period. They got 17 years to spend that money or to help them, that's helping them to reduce the overdose. The overdose, right? 460 million. That Brandon Scott came to the mental health to the health program, drug treatment programs. And guess what? A lot of drug treatment programs, it's not about helping them. It's about adding, and I can go to the Sebastian. Some of them that was on the Met program or on heroin, they trying to wing off the heroin. So they giving them this Sebastian or whatever to help substitute certain things, but winging them off of it. And I'm finding out from some people that it's harder to come off the Sebastian than it was the drugs, the heroin itself. Then you got people that's in the Met program. I haven't heard nobody talk about the Met program and all of that in years. In a while now. So all of this makes money. All of it, all of these type of programs, they make money. Then look at the new pills that they came up with. They got pills out there that our younger people are taking, and it makes them feel like they on dope. It makes them feel like they doing cocaine. These are pills. And then when I was over to prison, they cracking stuff up, right? So they do this, and it's certain pills that you take that enhance that high. It's a medical pill. and they crush it up with their stuff, and I forgot the name of it, but that they can use to like cut whatever stuff they doing. I'm like, what? So yeah. And see, since I've been clean, it's some new stuff out there, and I'm shocked. But it makes them feel just like they did heroin and all this type of stuff. So the whole goal with a lot of that is to keep people, I wanted to say, addicted. And no, David, I see what you wrote. David said you becoming soft with these politicians. No, David. No. No, you don't. I think you become more like understanding, and the understanding that I'm talking about, a lot of their damn hands are tied, David. It's tied. A lot of them are tied. Their hands are like, they can only do but so much. And I started seeing it. And rather than me laying them out like I used to, it's more like, okay, we need to come up more with the solution. And that's the people. Even when they say that, let's say the only way the gun violence, if they only had 201 for 2024, if they recording that for that year, it's only 201 people that was killed. That's by guns. Keep in mind, that's by gun. Sometimes they won't tell you about the stabbing, the chokings, and all of that, because the whole goal is to reduce the gun violence in Baltimore City. And then you got the fentanyl and the opioid. So say like if you have 300 homicides by guns, you might have, and matter of fact, it was 6 something with the fentanyl and the opioid. And they won't talk about it as loud as they might share with the gun violence, with the guns. And I learned all of that in this process, David. And if you live in the city and you get killed like in the county, you won't be included in the lives that was taken in the city. You won't. So a lot of times when we hear certain things about the homicide rate or something like that, it's broader than what we think or the information they want us to know. Hmm. And you know, some things just go unreported anyway. That's why I love Mackenzie Frost, because she would dig deep for stuff. She would dig deep. I'm telling you, let her do a thing. And a lot of y'all would get mad at her because she's pulling out the dirt. And I realized that. I realized, and I called David, if you still right there. When I got locked up, I had called Mackenzie Frost before I was arrested to tell her about what I was going through with the Eastern District Police Department. I even called Mackenzie Frost after I came home and told her that I had got locked up. She was like, for real. And she supposed to have looked into it. I even called Ivan Bates once I came home to let him know, out of all of that I was going through with them, because a lot of people didn't know I was gone. So when I came home, I had to call some of the people back to let them know that I had got arrested. They came up with some fake charges. Ivan Bates, I mean not Ivan Bates, I'm sorry. David, if you still right there, Melvin Russell, I had him on speakerphone one night. It was a couple of officers, and he was trying to tell them who I am and what I do because they was coming for me. And I was like, I'm tired of this. And Melvin Russell was out with his wife. I was shocked. He answered the phone. And I had him on speaker. And he was trying to tell the officers who I was, but they was in their own little world of wanting to come for me. They ain't even pay attention. They ain't pay attention. I even talked with their commander, David, and chief, and told them the hell I was going through with their officers in the streets. Their commander, remember I told y'all the thing I had with the names on it and all that? They took pictures of them, the officers that I was complaining about. So because of a lot of the stuff I went through, and then they did the fake charges, the police and the detective, the only thing, which they should have just let it go. They should have just threw it out. I shouldn't even had to went through what I went through. So the only thing they can try to get me with, right, was guilty by association. Of what? Of what? That's why I want to mess with them, right? Because number one, if you want to call me guilty by association, look, David, then you might as well call Brandon Scott, Ivan Bates, a lot of them, because of the work I do in the community to try to help, do some things. I know them. I deal with them. So if you, even your boss. So if you want to say I am guilty by association, they are guilty by knowing me. That's how I felt. That's how I felt. I don't know. Guilty by association. And I'm like this. Why would you do that to somebody that y'all know that's doing the best they can to help build, right? Rebuild. Just like they say like if a person go in the store, rob a store, you drive them to the store, you have no clue, no idea what they're gonna do. You have none, but they want to turn around and charge you with whatever that other person done. And I'm not lying, y'all. If you and they know you ain't had nothing to do with nothing, why would you want to throw that at that person if you know they ain't had nothing to do with nothing? Then you want to say guilty by association because you was there. But we know you did not know. Why? To make it right. And that's something we might need to address too. Because I love what she said out of her mouth. I'm talking about the prosecutor. Mr. Copeland, we know you didn't do this, and we know you didn't do that, and we know you didn't know that they had that you didn't know they was going to swing or blah blah blah, right? You telling me you know I didn't do it, and I didn't do it, and the police report didn't say I did anything. I mean, didn't say I did it. But the best thing she got me with was guilty by association. And I looked over at David, and I wanted to say, so is your motherfucking boss? And Brandon got no about. I said, shut up, Steve. And I had to finish out the rest of my home monitor, which did like 2 years, like I was in prison for something I didn't do. And then I got 3 years probation for something I didn't do. For something I didn't do. How? Now, David, this where your civil rights groups come in at. This where organizations like the Innocent Project come in at. Because you going to tell me I didn't do it, because guess what? The police report itself didn't say one thing about me doing nothing. But she knew that the two officers that came up with those fake charges, she had to do something to try to make them look right. We need to stop this. Y'all been hearing me talk about this for the longest time. And to be truthful, if y'all paid attention, on several occasions I called out their names. Now, whatever they did to me, only imagine, and I'm looking at this detective, how other innocent people in the community they set up. They ain't just do that to me. And I can guarantee you, if I wanted to really pull some stuff together, talk with a lot of our people in that area, I guarantee you it's a lot of other people they did this to. It's just I got the big mouth. So I'm just letting y'all know that one damn detective and that officer, they some crooked people. They some crooked officers. Anytime you're gonna take the time out and come and create something on a person like me, when you know I'm not who you trying to make me out to be. And I can only imagine the other black men and probably women that they done this to. And I can guarantee you, if it get to a point of blowing up, then they would have to look at some of those charges that they charge against other people for no reason and in jail doing time. Because it is one street police officer and this detective. And then for them to turn around and give orders to raid my niece's house. Talking about they looking for Gucci glasses, checkbooks, and all this. And when they raided it, it was the warrant in my name. That's not even in the files of what actually went down. This was some other stuff now. This was in reference to me. When they raided my niece's house and tore up all my stuff. And I'm going to tell you right now, and ain't nobody did that but that detective. She had ordered them to do that. So, and I'm going to get ready to end this because it's almost 3 hours and my phone, my tablet is like, my iPad is like, okay, you're running out of time. But I'm a little disappointed in what happened to me. Because me and the police officer, the male, we would talk. Where's Cameron wasn't on, we would talk. But it's like, people lie, they play games in your face, and how can you create 14 freaking charges? Home invasion, burglary, armed robbery, assault. Now, home invasion, burglary, how am I going to do a home invasion on my own rental property? So, and it was repeated itself because it said con assault. Con that was took the charges way up, just added extra bull jump. That don't go with nothing. 14 of them. And then the same white boy that wrote the 14 charges, I was released on the 14th, right? Of that same month, March. He went and filed another charge, said burglary in the 4th degree. So when I was ready to go out, I had put my stuff on, and they said, Mr. Copeland, we got to lock you back up. Because he went and filed, which he already had burglary in there. He filed burglary again for them to lock me back up. And I came out on the 15th. The street police officer did that. That's what amazed me, how they can go down to the courts in front of the judge and create the most outrageous bullcrap on you for nothing. But what they showed me out of everything, David, I keep saying the pen and the paper, the pen and the pencil. But what they showed me, the pen and the paper, how powerful that thing is when it comes to destroying your life. The judge don't know if it's true, and don't y'all tell me yes they do, because they don't. And the prosecutor don't know if it's true or not. And do not tell me yes they do, because they don't. They only went off the information that the police wrote in them fake police reports, because none of it was true. So now tell me they do an investigation. An investigation, if they do one, they doing it off of false, fake information. I can tell you that firsthand. I can tell you it firsthand. The judge didn't know. Matter of fact, check it out. I've never had a chance to talk with a judge. The first judge, the first time it happened, he said, this don't go together. He said, something ain't right about this. But after that first judge, I didn't have a chance to stand in for throughout my whole case until my lawyer said something about the plea deal thing, just to push all this behind us, right? That's why I did it, to push it behind us. I said, okay, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to let it go and just push it behind us. In that process of me talking to a lawyer, doing like if I had 120 days, I was supposed to talk with a lawyer a judge after that. Some kind of way, they postponed that. Then they added some more days on it. Some kind of way, they postponed that. It was like every time I was supposed to go in front of a judge to talk about certain things, I never talked to one. They found a way to prolong it, let it go, and eventually, because of my lawyer, I had to get a private lawyer. I ended up coming home. I'm just telling y'all how the court system plays. Man, if somebody else tell me this and tell me that, and I hear them, and I see how they did them, I'll be like, yup, because of my own stuff and what they did with me. And I personally. Oh my God, I dropped a key. I'm telling you. Now, be honest with you. I can go to Ben Crump. I mean, because I got a lot of my paperwork still. I have a lot of the information that I was sending over to Twitter at the time to get the help that I needed dealing with these police officers. I got their badge names, numbers. I was told to report them suckers to internal affairs. So if I really want to push the issue with this, I got all of it. Got all of it. And not just that. That's all you gotta do, follow the papers. Follow the papers. And then in one of my houses, one of my clients was found dead in the house. All of this not being talked about. And that might not have nothing to do with nothing. But all of this happened in the process of me getting locked up, going to prison. My nephew and two boys went in the house, robbed my niece, robbed his mother at gunpoint, And then the house got raided. And when the house got raided, my niece took off. And I couldn't blame her at all because that's not the lifestyle she was living. So I'm thinking that they set my nephew up and went in there and did what he did. Because I can't believe, straight out, my nephew would do nothing like that to his mother. I could not. I could not believe it. I could not. And I think that was a setup too. I do. I could not believe my nephew would do something like that to his mother. And I'm just telling y'all, the crutball police officers we got in the Eastern District Police Department, and I will tell it to them in their face. I don't give a fuck about their badge or none of that. I'm talking about the human being, y'all, and please forgive me for just cussing the way I did. Because sometimes when I think back about that, that mess hurt, man. And then what hurt me the most, the police officer that did what he did, me and this guy would talk. We would talk about leaving a legacy behind for our family. We just talked a little bit about stuff, you know. And then for him to turn around and do that, and that's why it's kind of hard when you let people into your life and then they laughing in your face and they joking with you and they plotting a way they can stab you right in your back. And they not all black people. And it's what this white boy did. Why would you? I mean, because I know he had got mad at me because of certain little things. And Tashawn know, we all know we watched him. We watched him. Even Cherie, it was a lot of people that watched my videos and seen what I was going through on a personal note. Even Christopher Anderson, because he seen me arguing with the police rather than them coming to support me. I'm talking about the Republican Party. Y'all really disappointed me. Y'all watched me going through what I was going through, and nobody came to back me up. Nobody. Nobody. And I was really disappointed. When I got locked up, I was looking for y'all to do protests outside. Y'all seen what happened. Nobody. The only person, be honest, that Ray Bly tried to get y'all to come and protest and all that type of stuff. Y'all ran. Y'all ran. It just taught me now together we do certain things together. I had to switch out my phone. My tablet, my iPad ran out. The battery died. So I gotta keep in mind it only holds up to 3 hours. Yeah, but I'm thank y'all, man. Thank y'all because and keep in mind, I'm gonna and I keep saying it, I need some people like to do my broadcast network stuff because I do want to start bringing people up so we can talk about certain things. All right, hold on for a minute, please. See, I do, because this is my broadcast network, right? My Restream live stream broadcast network. So I want to get back into the habit of doing it. Like right now, in the day Friday, I supposed to come on from 4 to 4:45. So, and Mondays 4:45. Wednesday. Now, I want to come on and I want to talk about some of the issues that we're confronted with, or just going on around. But I don't want to stay stuck in whatever the problem is. Once we come on, I want us to talk a little bit about whatever, but then go into the process of what we can do to improve those things. And some people you might have to walk through that process, right? It's not about staying stuck. Now, somebody else might say, Dang, I'm going to go on to his broadcast network. You might want to come on at 6 o'clock, from 6 to 6:45 or 6 to 7. You might want to come on 3 days out the week, 4 days out the week, but you're going to pay for that slot. We're going to start doing like commercials and all that type of stuff, advertising other people, to bring revenue in. So that's why for me, I need a team. Because right now I'm broadcasting to YouTube. I'm broadcasting to Twitter and Twitch. And I'm broadcasting to two of my Facebook page, the ones that's public, right? It's information that we have that we can give out in helping others around the world. Because I advertise, I'm sorry, I live stream to other countries and all that too. Now, in my live stream, what I want to do, when I go in to see what Restream have in now, and they might have places in China. Now I can embed it in where we'll be broadcasting over there. But now, once we broadcast to certain other places like that, it will go towards the English people, right? People that speak English and stuff. And then again, it might, once I speak English, it might interpret it over there for them that speak Chinese. They might hear us as far as our English language. It might clear it up for them. So now, and then I got Stream, which is actually about TV. So I was trying to put everything together so that as we live stream, we can do TV as well. And that's what I'm trying to do. But I need somebody that know how to do that. I am not good with all of that. I am not. So that's why I just come on this. Now I can bring 10 people up here with us and we can talk and all that type of stuff. But now I gotta get better with that too. Inviting people up and for us to talk. I can't do this by myself. And it's going to take the multitude of us with the talk show, with the teen talk show, with the multi-purpose center. Um, it's a lot because I'm watching what T and them doing. I'm watching what Manu and them doing. I'm watching a lot of brothers and sisters now that have that has great programs here in Baltimore City. They do. And the thing with that, and why I'm saying it, y'all, because they never get the accolades and the posts. Y'all don't know about it. Y'all know. But the thing is, a lot of people don't talk about it. Now, I was showing somebody how on LinkedIn, I go to LinkedIn, a lot of them are more like business people, stuff like that. When I go to X or Twitter, A lot of them is basically your politicians, all this type of stuff, right? When I do go on TikTok, no, I'm sorry. When I do go on my Twitter page, I want to make sure I say it right. Wait a minute. I get the Twitter and Twitch. I get them two kind of twisted, right? When I go on my Twitch, the goal with that is because I'm a talk show, I try to connect with other talk shows there. Because the thing is to grow that platform as well. So that's why for me, I need somebody that's very, very familiar with the studio production type work. We need a cameraman, however it needs to go to make this look professional, more professional. Okay. So I'm just sharing stuff with y'all to let y'all know. Man, I'm trying my best, y'all. I'm trying my best to, do what I do. When I tell y'all I have like 14 social media pages. During the day, I'll go through my pages. I'll answer, little questions. I'll read stuff, respond. Um, People that's not over here, I know they over there. Uh, uh, and that's like a daily thing. And sometimes, say like if I can't get to stuff like during the day, just before I fall asleep at night, I'm going through my stuff, you know. And then I might end up playing my checkers, my chess game, right? Because I got a little music that comes out of it. So it helps wind me down to go to sleep. So whenever y'all see me yelling and screaming, please stop taking it the wrong way. Please, 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 please. I'm saying it because I get pumped. I tell everybody that. I be like, if I'm in a place and it might be a little quiet, but when I start talking and I know I'm gonna get real loud, I'll be like, oops, I gotta bring it because I will go. That's that passion. And mainly if we talking about something that I'm real excited about, boom, I'm gone. I'm gone. And then I have to catch myself to come back down because I know me. And that's what I tell people. When it's something I'm passionate about, I get loud. And today, and I am not trying to, I don't want to justify it too much, but a lot of y'all heard me. I do not, and I want to make this clear, what's happening over in DC to our black people, and I don't know how y'all missing it because he made it very clear. He made it very clear. The black poor people, he made it very clear. And what y'all have a tendency of doing, y'all will say, oh, he ain't mean it like that. Well, how did he mean it? The poor blacks. And then when he threw the homeless people in it to make them like out to be criminals, all of them are not criminals as far as committing crimes. When he did that, that's a big no-no. That's a big no-no. And the reason why I'm saying it's a big no-no, y'all got to understand the position this man holds. And we voted him in for our best interest. So what y'all saying? Y'all stuff more important than the homeless and the less fortunate people? Or the black community? What you do in the ghetto people, the poor people? So you mean to tell me your life and what you do is better than them when you agree with that? That's why if you hear me say something about the Epstein file, I'm just saying it to be smart. Because y'all love him in spite of. But you can badmouth Bill Cosby. You can tear R. Kelly apart. You can tear P. Diddy apart. But y'all are, look, you love all over his name. And I try to be open to all of that. And understand that, hey, if that's the way you think and that's the way you feel, that's some sick shit to me. But if that's how y'all look at it, and guess what? They ain't even got to go in the Epstein files. That's all you got to do is go back to some of them pictures. Way before. With him around them young girls then. So the Epstein file thing ain't got to tell you in detail nothing. It's already there. And then, oh my God, for him to say what he said about the DC. This man is in DC. That's where his housing is. I'm talking about the White House. He's in DC. Your own area. You need to clean it. But having the guards coming in and they don't have no like working solutions or no type of programs to help improve people's lives, that's not that's not how you do it. That's not how you do it. You got the police is over there, right? With badges. I mean, with guns, with vests. You got them already over there. Then you're gonna bring other ones in with guns, vests, machines, to take control. Everybody in the poor community is not criminals. Everybody in the homeless population is not criminals. And basically, anytime you find somebody that's committing a crime in that sense, is because mainly if they're reaching out towards money, food, and stuff like that, is because they in survival mode. And that's not the justified behavior. Why you're not providing better services for them? You up top. Why you ain't getting better, more money poured into the community for programs to catch, to help those that's going around robbing, stealing, taking, and all that. That can help them be more productive citizens of society. I guess you feel like the National Guards came right. And guess what? The same way them suckers can come for the people can come for them. Come on. You fighting fire with fire. And I've been trying not to think about it, but every time I think about DC, then the homeless population, and then knowing that I'm in Baltimore City and we trying to do everything we can to provide temporary housing to permanent housing for them. And that's the same things that's going over there in Washington, D.C. Same things. And you know what I'm getting ready to do? What time is it? Because I'm going back to sleep. What time is it? Let's say 12. Wow. Go back to sleep. But I had to come on, y'all. This. I'm just getting sick and tired. I'm just getting so sick and tired. And then I be listening to some people comments, man. Reading comments that they been putting over there. And they have a lot of y'all comments I read. Y'all make the poor people, the homeless people, it's like they're just worthless. I'm like, they human. They human beings. And some of the stuff I be reading and y'all be degrading them like they animals, like they don't exist or something. And I'm like, what in the hell? How we do that? We talking about human, living, breathing beings. And I read some of y'all comments, I'm like towards like their lifestyles and stuff, like they just not nothing. I be like, no, y'all didn't. No, you not. And I'm trying not to go too deep because I be like, how can you live in your skin like this? And it is what it is. When you're not dealing with certain things personally yourself. And I'm gonna tell you, man. I think if they came to Baltimore City, it's not that we would break out and fight and all this and stuff like that. It's not that, but it's just that if they come to Baltimore City, they're going to make a lot of us uh, activists and organizers and human rights advocates. We're going to come up against it. I'm telling you. I'm telling you because we ain't going to play. And I know DC somewhat the same way. But if they come here to try to take control over certain things, because you how you think personally, knowing that I have a housing program and I work with the homeless and less fortunate people, that I'm not gonna say something? Please. Not me, not just me. It's other people like me. Knowing that I work with the homeless and less fortunate people over here, and then on top of that, the goal is to help reduce the crime rate, the homicide rate, and all of that. So do you think we're gonna let somebody come in here that has no experience on what we're doing? None. And just let you try to practice those behaviors with us like that? No. No. And it's not to fight nobody, because I'm gonna tell you, I will come out there with my big ass mouth and I will put you on point. I don't give a hell about them guns and all that. I don't care. And I'm not the only one. And I'm just saying for the work that I do in Baltimore City. I'm just telling you. We not gonna be all right with no bull crap like that. I can tell you that point blank. Come over here like we're a bunch of animals and talk that trash. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Cause I'll go straight for you to let you know as a human being, you're a piece of trash. Yourself. Wanna come into an area and then to try to degrade other people. No, 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 not him. Not him. Cause I'll pull up the human being. Cause guess what? You got family members too. All of us. I just don't know, like right now, firsthand, like my family, like less fortunate and homeless and stuff. I could tell you no. But even though you got people in the National Guards and all that type of stuff, yes, all of us have family members that's need that love and support, and I will pick with them. What type of programs do y'all have to help them become better people? I would. I'm telling you, I would. I know me. I know me. So what's the purpose of you coming over here doing what you're doing, trying to intimidate people? I'd rather for us to come together and encourage and motivate and empower those that's doing wrong. But you gotta have like stuff and well, basically I'm saying like program solutions, stuff like that, right? To help them improve their lives. I watch some of them. I'm watching some of them from the videos they showing. You don't have to be aggressive towards people that come on. That's why they're buck on you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And I would not be surprised. I would not, and I pray to God they don't. I would not be surprised if they start rioting, rioting in DC. I would not. I would not. And I'm only saying that because of what I could see that there's a good chance that could happen. Because you coming in areas where people already fighting to survive, right? And y'all coming in with this intimidating mode, and they already in like their war zone, right? And it ain't gonna do nothing but make them flare up. And I pray to God they don't, because I would hate to hear that certain people y'all done took out our people. I would hate to hear that. I would hate to hear that now they over there taking people's lives. And then what's going to happen? Y'all will take lives of people that really have nothing to do with anything, and I would hate to see it. You know, I don't know, David. I'm gonna get ready to go to sleep though. Um, when I got up this morning, David, I had to go get me a little breakfast, take my insulin, and I started thinking about DC, and I prayed, and because I knew I was gonna come on here yelling. That's just where I'm at. When I get loud, and I want to stop apologizing because of the way I do things, and that's just me. And if people don't like it, please stay off my stuff, you know, because I'm not going to sit up here and adjust my life for other people. I'm not. So I prayed because God know, He knew I was going to come on here and I was going to be who I feel like He created me to be, that loudmouth person, right? I just don't. I try to tone it down, but that's part of my passion, and people tend to take it and want to twist it in a negative way. Do what you gotta do for you. And what I learned about a lot of us, right? Because y'all looking at me and you looking at how I might perform certain things, but you can't see yourself. So a lot of times I might see you over there showing you, but then I'm not gonna say nothing because the only thing I'm gonna say, and you think I'm crazy. But look, I know that be if you anything like me, I know that's your passion. I'd be like, yeah, go for it, go. Your mother will go. Yes. I'm telling you, cause I feel. Look, I will be feeling your fire. I'll be feeling your passion. I'll be like, yes. When I see, look, look, when I get out the gate. When I get out the gate, wait till I come. Look, I want to get that point across. But when I get out the gate, I get out the gate. I already know, cause I'll come on in, right. I'll be playing with myself sometimes. I'll be like, Steve, go on and be a little. You have to be a little more proper. Somebody Tony told me I was ghetto. I'm like, mm, 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 mm. Tony, he gonna call me. He gonna. Like, this man only 50, 49 years old. And he feel like he need to call me and tell me how I'm performing. I'm like, Tony, number one, he ain't realize this is my talk show. He ain't realize it's a talk show. It's the couch conversation. He ain't realize that. I said, Tony, I believe in keeping it real, bro. It might not be professional to everybody. That's why it's called the couch conversation. So it sunk in after a while. I said, that's my broadcast network. I'm streaming to, like, right now, 7 other channels. See, a lot of people don't know about Restream. It's like a podcast, but they don't know that you can get on certain platforms, and Restream lets you stream to 30 other platforms. See, right now I'm not grown to that point yet. But what I found out with Restream, a lot of their stuff is gaming too. Is gaming. you know. So what I did, because I had 15 different platforms, but I wasn't able to fill the whole 15 up. So I dropped it down to 8. And now as I grow, I can I can broadcast to more, as I begin to grow. But that was a bit too much money and I wasn't there yet. So I have to grow into that where I can broadcast out to certain areas in Africa. It's like it's just a lot of it you can choose over there. But now it takes work. It takes work. Yep. Like I said, I have Stream is my TV thing. Now I can go over to Stream, and some people that I know do the couch talk on Stream, I'll run across them. But now I can set it up where my stuff will repeat itself over and over again throughout the day. It's a 24-hour thing. So I'm streaming from TV. But I've been trying to merge everything together. So that's why, like I said earlier, that's why I need the team. But I feel like this, if it's really meant for me to grow stuff like that, God will let it grow. He'll let it grow. It's just the point of doing, not rushing to do everything at one time. And sometimes I get in my head because I'm 63. It's like, well, I ain't gonna live long enough to see this and see that. Why did you wait till I get a certain age? But what God is doing, He's doing what He's doing. He's doing it. He's doing it. It's just the point of me being obedient to the things that He's doing. And I want stuff done from time to time, David. I want it done now. But I ain't lying. I want me a building. Every time I'm out, y'all, and I spot certain things, I be like, oh my God, I want that building. Ooh, ooh. And that's what I be looking at. Ooh, I want that building. Because I want to put everything back in. Well, I want to do everything basically that we was doing down at this building at 908. And then, I mean, I would love to go in there. When I say go and clean it out, what I mean is make sure we get all of the chaos and the confusion out of it. From what I understand, I don't know that they've been hustling back out of that building again. So you would have to get in there, clean things up. That's not what I was doing. So when I was talking with Mr. Allen and he kind of pointed the finger at me, no, no, that's not how Steve Copeland worked. One, I love the fact that it was a secured building. I love that. Mr. Harry Mead sat up there talking with Miss Deborah, went and brought keys and gave it to the clients in the building. I said, why would you do that? Why would you do that? They're gonna sit up there one day, me and them talking. I spent almost $400. That's what you get in tickets. I mean, keys. Ain't nobody tell you buy keys and give them to the clients. Now the hustlers got them. Why would you do that to the front door, secure door? Man, they came in. Now I'm hearing this and I'm hearing that and I'm hearing they fighting and I'm like, okay. But Coco got them now. She's moving them out and all of that right there. We not gonna have it over here. We not. We not. And I'm going to talk with them and let them know we're not. You know. But I thank God for her because she's like putting them here, putting them there, and some of the pictures I seen of her place, she got some nice places, and I'm hoping that it makes them feel more comfortable inside because I'm looking at uh their insides and being in a more healthier place, wise, healthier place, family like. That's probably the next level that God want them to take in order for them to become, permanent. Because they got to change this, y'all. They got to change that ghetto mentality. They got to change it. So look, I love y'all. I'm gonna come on and get off. I'm gonna go off. David, I might come back on around about 8. Um, I just needed to come on for right now. And like I said, I prayed y'all. So no matter how you take me, if to keep it and make life simple for y'all, if y'all don't like the way I do things, just keep it moving. It's not personal. It's not personal. And keep in mind, y'all always know my goal is helping our people, embracing our people. So no matter how y'all might look at me and perceive me, look at the work I do. I was sitting up there looking at my Google page, right? Google search. And they over there starting to change stuff up on Google. And it's looking real good. It's looking real good how they presenting the business and stuff like that now. It's looking great. Sexing it, breaking it down, telling you what he's doing here, what he's doing there. If you want to see over here, just, just it's just coming. I don't know what they're doing, but y'all can Google me. I got a website, right? And I'm connected with. It'll tell you all the social media pages that I'm on too. Tell you all that. And I realized in the process of doing what I'm doing, whenever you search up for like temporary housing and stuff like that, I'll pop up with that. I'll pop up with all that. So if you ever want to look and search Steve Copeland, you can. But I'm gonna get off, family. I love y'all, and thanks for being here to support me.